Can't believe it. It's unbelievable. We made it. We're here. Can you believe it?
Where are we at?
We are at episode 1 again, but this time there's a 0 after the 1.
Nice.
Because it's episode 10
double-digit time
of The Stagler. Episode 10. That's pretty wicked. What was the date of our first show? Do you remember?
Well, we know the third show was on April 18th.
We do know that.
So if we subtract 2 weeks from that, so we have to subtract 4 weeks, from April 18th.
So 4 weeks.
That's hard math.
I'm not going to do
my
the math.
phone.
Oh, okay. If you want to.
Here we go.
Let's figure
Calendar.
it out.
April 18th. So April 4th was the second episode.
Okay, cool.
Which means that
You could also go to the YouTube and just
the
look
first
at
episode was March 21st, if anyone was interested.
Wow, that's March 21st. We're going to have to do something for that. You know, I've been thinking, I saw a comment on one of our earlier videos, whichever one we talked about Sonic in. I don't remember which one.
Probably like
but somebody was asking, Stuart was asking, you know, are we going to have the Stagler Award? Are we going to have the Staggies, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think we should probably do it around that time, you know, around our 1 year anniversary. You know, that should be our year in the Stagler Award. We're going to have to buy a trophy, you know? I have a trophy that I've only ever won one trophy. It was for a math competition in like 4th grade, but we can just use that and I can scratch out, you know, my name and just put like the Stagler.
The Staggies.
You know?
I like that name, the Staggies.
Unless you have any trophies that we could, you know, deface for this. Because I only have one.
I don't know. I'd have to look in some boxes.
Okay. Well, okay.
I don't know for sure.
I know you have an Oscar. You have that. You have a regional Oscar. It's not a statue.
Oh, shut up. That was stupid.
It was stupid.
It's probably that literally is probably in the trash can. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I don't know where it's at. It's
Oscar
probably
winning.
been thrown away.
Oscar winning, and you threw it all away. I can't believe you. What would they think? The Academy.
I'm sure they'll be okay.
I'm still mad about that because I did help. I remember I helped a lot out on that project. And
I don't even remember.
I did. I literally wrote like half the joke, not half, but I wrote a few of the good jokes in that.
I do remember.
And then, no, let's not speak on it. Let's not speak on it.
I don't.
Yours is in the trash.
You reminded me that I actually had one of those.
Right. Exactly. But no, I like the way the show's been going so far. I feel like we're having a good time here.
I'm having a great time.
We have a good, you know, Nick and Justin. You know, it's like a good duo. You know,
Justin and Nick.
Just a Nick. Right? Exactly. You know, like
exactly.
We have a good back and forth. One of us is kind of like the funnier one, and the other one's named Nick.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's fine. I'm not very funny, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I have my moments.
You are, if you want me to be complete, I see you as a vehicle for my comedy.
Yes.
Because if I was alone, like what would I do? You know, I couldn't imagine having a show. People do it. People have a lot of podcasts where they just sit alone and talk. And I don't know how they do it. It's a very impressive skill to me. I would never be able to do it.
2 people is the way to go.
But what's been your like favorite thing about starting the show? You know, how has your life changed? This is a landmark. I feel like we should take a second to speak on it.
I don't know if my life's really, I mean, okay, it has changed. I have to do, well, I don't have to do, I get to do this every few weeks.
True.
Honestly, it's made me watch more things and kind of expand my knowledge on film and TV and entertainment in general. So I'm
100%, because of course we were both really into movies and TV before.
Oh yeah.
You know, I would say more than the average person because everybody likes movies and TV. Basically everybody, you know, except for Amish people and weirdos. But yeah, I've taken a lot more time to not just watch it'll sound weird, not just watch what I want to watch.
Right.
You know, like popcorn movies over and over and over again, but really expand. And like when we do stuff like Spike Lee, was probably my favorite 2 weeks period that we had.
Yeah, it
was when I did on Spike Lee
ones. Stuff.
That was very fulfilling to me, to really get up to date on stuff like that. So no, I would have to agree that's a great part of it. What's the worst part?
I don't. It's hot.
Yeah,
it's really hot.
Heated in here in the summer.
It gets really hot.
It's been pretty hot, but we got fans now.
We got little tiny fans out. Will hopefully help.
But yeah, my least favorite part is Marilyn.
What?
You should hear the things she says to me after the show is over. She says the most vile, disgusting things to me.
Oh yeah?
And yeah. Like she's always like, "Are you looking at my skirt?" And I'm like, "Marilyn, it's kind of hard not to." But whatever. Other than that, she's fine. She's kind of pretty, I guess.
She's all right.
She's like, what, a size 6?
I don't know.
Size 9? I don't know. It was something where it's like Marilyn was, I don't know. Maybe we should move on and get into the real meat of the show, what people are here for. Because this is the Stagler. I am your host. I almost said Nick.
Hey.
I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm Nick.
And he's the we're co-hosts together. We do the show together. Wow, this is probably the worst intro we've ever done. But let's get into weeks.
It's okay.
My week, I was going to start with something a little weird.
Okay.
I listened to The Big Day, which is an album from Chance the Rapper that released last year. And I think the anniversary was like a month ago.
It was, it received extreme critical destruction.
Yeah, did you listen to it?
No, I'm not a big Chance person in the first place.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not a big music person in the first place.
Okay.
I just got really bored, I guess. But I remember that, please help me with the name. The one that came out when we were like in high school. The big one that was like
everyone Chance album?
Yeah.
The one that has the 3.
Exactly. And it's like the orange background and he's just like smiling.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Whatever that one's called. I want to say it's color, something with the word color.
Okay. I don't know.
That one was really good. I liked that one a lot. It was very popular. It was very popular at the time. It was good. It was like gospel rap or something like that.
Cool.
It was a very good time. And I just, again, not a big music person, never really paid attention to. I listened to The Big Day and I knew everything around it. And
Coloring book.
Cool. Thanks for fact checking.
You're welcome.
Who would fact check if you weren't here? I definitely wouldn't. This album, I'm not a music critic. I hardly listen. It was so bad. It was so bad. As a person who's not even like, I mean, I guess that makes me count less, but even as a person who doesn't care about music, even I can recognize that it is a bad album.
What are you going to do?
The weirdest thing to me was that, and again, this is all stuff that's definitely been said by people before. The weirdest thing to me was that Chance was very easily the worst part of each song that he was in.
Oh, jeez.
That's
not good.
Because he did a lot of, what do you call it, like features where other artists would be on the songs. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were really good. But whenever Chance would start up with his nonsense, oh boy, was it a rough ride. But you know what? Eek. He's probably working on something new. I don't know, maybe. I don't know what he's up to. I saw he was on Quibi. He had a Quibi show.
I hate Quibi. I wanted to let everyone know that. I hate Quibi. I think it's stupid. I've never even used it, so I guess, but I just hate the idea of Quibi. It's so dumb, in my opinion.
It's like TikTok, but it's real shows. Don't you want to consume Breaking Bad in TikTok form?
TikTok's getting banned, so.
Get a Breaking Bad TikTok. It's like, imagine a 13-year-old girl, like, lip syncing. I am the one who knocks. You know? Like, that sounds great.
I don't know. We should ban Quibi. If we can ban TikTok, we can ban Quibi.
Trump.
Donnie.
If you're going to do one good thing in your presidency, this is it. This is your chance to be an American hero.
You'll go down in history.
Get rid of Quibi. People will be like, oh, the weird comments and braggadocious ways. Well, you got rid of Quibi. Put him on the $20 bill. Get rid of that. Fuck Jackson. Could you imagine? Anyway, let's move on to the movies and stuff that I do care about. I watched Palm Springs, which we talked about last week, the Hulu Andy Samberg.
Yes, I said I would watch it, but I didn't.
But you didn't. Wow.
So I'm sorry about that.
Well, I'll tell you, it was very good. I hadn't watched like a pure comedy movie in a long time.
Same.
One that's just all comedy, that's all it's trying to do. And it's about Andy Samberg, who's stuck in a time loop, you know, forever, day after day after day, where he's gone to this wedding, you know, and so he's just living this day over, and he's been in there for a long time. You know, they don't really say when. It could be like millions of years.
Oh, geez.
It could be a very long time. But he, in his ways, he's hooking up with this girl, and she accidentally gets dragged into the time loop with him. So now there's two people in the time loop. And, you know, she wants to get out. He's kind of learned to live with it, you know? And it's kind of just a back and forth. They're kind of falling in love, maybe, but, like, she wants to move on. He doesn't want to, you know? And it's a very interesting thing because it is Andy Samberg is the main character, but they share a lot of the limelight, you know? Mm-hmm. And her, oh, gosh, what is her name? Can you look her up? Just the Palm Springs. She was fantastic. She reminded me of Ellen Page a little bit. But that is a compliment. I like Ellen Page. Very funny.
Kristen Milioti.
Yeah, Milioti. I knew the last name was something like that. I thought it was very good. The gags were a lot obviously related to the time loop stuff, you know. J.K. Simmons is also in it, and he
Love him.
plays like a crazy, well, not crazy, but like a revenge-fueled monster, you know.
Good.
And he's good. He gets a like a tender moment in the film. The emotional beats work for the most part, you know.
Yeah.
This might sound weird, but one of my biggest gripes with the film is that it's too short. I was having a good time watching it, and I was like, wow, it's over. Because I was thinking there's a part in the middle of the film where basically she comes to terms with being in the time loop. You know, after she's killed herself a bunch and like lived through the day and tried to run away, you know, eventually she's like, okay, I get it, right? And who knows how much time that was, how many days she actually did that.
Right.
So they have a bunch of shenanigans, you know? They go to bars and they do like choreographed dances and like they just do a bunch of stupid stuff because who cares? It'll reset at the end of the day anyway.
Right.
And by the end of it, I was like, they could have done more of that. I was really enjoying those scenes. It was just a fun time.
Yeah.
And they touch upon a concept, which I thought was very interesting because it's one that immediately comes to my mind. They touch upon a concept where she's like, how about I just start killing people? Like, you know what I mean? Because she's getting really upset or whatever, and they've got like arrested. It's like, why don't we just like murder this cop? And he's like, okay, listen, being a terrible person and like wreaking havoc on the world isn't fun. He's like, trust me, I've been here long enough. I've tried everything. They forget, but you don't forget what you've done when you do it to people. And I was like, wow, that's really kind of like a dark, interesting idea to bring into the world. But that's kind of all you get. You know, it's just like, oh, you have to live with it. I was expecting to be like, oh, yeah, you've murdered everybody in the state at least once because you've been here so long and you remember killing every single...
At least once.
But, you know, I could see another film being made with that concept, you know, of like having to live with what you've done, even though it's all fine, technically. You know what I mean? So interesting ideas. I wish it was longer. Seriously, check it out. If you just want a nice laugh, you know, go ahead and give it a look. See. Andy Samberg. A lot of people like him. I
like Andy Samberg.
I was like kind of like, oh, Andy Samberg, but now I like Andy Samberg.
Good.
Yeah. Next, I watched another comedy, which we've talked about on the show that I promised people I would watch, and it was The Death of Stalin.
Oh yeah.
I gave it a viewing, and I came to the conclusion that I thought I would upon hearing the differing opinions, because I landed, do you want to guess?
With me. You're on my side.
I'm right in the middle.
Ah.
I disagree with both of you in different ways. This movie is not very funny, but not because the people are terrible people, just because it's not very funny.
It is funny.
No, it's funny, but I think the comedy is kind of at odds with itself, because at some points they're doing like pretty high, I don't know if I want to say high level, but pretty satirical stuff that points to specific things in history, which if you weren't privy to, they probably wouldn't register as jokes, you know? It's like, if you don't know about this time in history, you might not even understand that as a joke. And then like really goofball, like, oh, look, we're carrying Stalin out and we're tripping over and blah, blah, blah. Like the comedy is just at odds because it's a lot of goofball and then a lot of very satirical kind of jabs, you know? Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe the movie would have been better off just sticking with the satire stuff. So if somebody didn't know what Russia was, they would just be like, that's really good drama. Like, you know what I mean? Because really this is a dramedy, right? It's not a straight comedy. I thought it was superbly written. I thought the writing in the film was fantastic. I just didn't find myself laughing very often. And yes, they are terrible people, but the only thing that saved that for me, because it was a downer for a lot of it, the only thing that saved it for me was what happened to some of the terrible people, and specifically what happened to the most terrible person. I was happy with that outcome, and I was like, okay, sure, you've brought me back around. And of course, Steve Buscemi and Jeffrey Tambor, I enjoyed watching both of them, and they, you know, probably had the most screen time. I will say, though, as far as laughs do go, I laughed the most at anybody who wasn't, like, the main characters, the main committee. You know, if it was, like, a random guard saying something, like, those were the moments that made me laugh. Or, like, the composer scenes, like, with him and stuff. Those are the scenes that actually made me laugh. The rest, you know, at most, maybe a sensible chuckle or something like that.
That's fine.
Maybe something like that. So, you know, I'm right in the middle. It's very well written. I just don't think it's terribly funny.
I thought it was funny.
That's fair. That's your opinion. That's totally cool. I just thought of that video of the housewives where she's like, "That's your opinion." in her face. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? See that video? Now
that is peak
that is
comedy.
comedy. Speaking of comedy, here's a little something that you guys, I think I've spoke on it before, but I finished something recently. I finished writing a little screenplay that I've been writing for a while. I came up with the idea like 2 years ago, and I say came up, I stole it.
Oh,
Well, no, it's inspired by it. You know what I mean? You know, you see something and you're like, oh, how would I do this differently? So this is my thing. I've written it. The script is like done. I've got people in line, including you, actually, in line to not only help me make it behind the scenes, but maybe do in front of the scenes stuff too.
I'm a bad actor.
And that's perfect. But no, I don't want to give out any details really yet because I haven't even started.
Very
production
top
really.
secret.
Very
this is like Endgame
Yes,
levels of secrecy.
exactly. You know, Tony Stark will die in this one. But no, it's very exciting. I hope to have it done by the end of the year. You know, at like completely done, out in December. You know, that would be very exciting, and I'll definitely keep people updated on how that's going.
Please.
You know, well, you especially because I need you. So
Yes.
that's kind of important. Kind of wrapping up the last segment here of my week is
Okay.
I subscribe to a new service,
What service?
Shudder. Shudder.
Oh.
I
Whoa.
subscribe to Shudder, which is a horror only. Whoa, I'm shuddering.
Sorry, I'm just
Jeez.
shuddering.
You should. I wish there was something on the windows that could keep the breeze out.
I don't.
Shutters.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so stupid.
All right.
I'm
Shudder,
so dumb.
Shudder is a horror only subscription service, like Netflix type, right? It's Netflix for horror movies,
Yeah.
and I finally gave it a go. It's like I paid the $55, and I get it for a year. So they'll bill me yearly for $55, and I get Shudder.
Did you watch Blood Machines?
I did not watch Blood Machines, but I'm planning on it. I watched what everybody's talking about. It's the talk of the town right now.
Is it?
Which is the movie Host.
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, it's the talk of the town, and also I follow Craig Engler, and he made Shudder or whatever, and he retweets all of it because he's happy about his service.
Right.
It's a pretty good service. I'll talk about the service at the end. I want to talk about these movies first because I'm excited too. Have you seen Unfriended?
No, but I know what it is.
Right. It's like the webcam thing, and they all die.
Yep.
Host is the same thing, except good.
Ah.
Host, I will say, I actually liked it. I thought it was quite good. It involves, it's like a present day thing. It's during quarantine. They're like talking about quarantine. That's like the setup.
Okay.
Which is a good setup for a horror. Like, even if this wasn't happening, if that was the made up fiction in the world, I'd be like, that's a good excuse.
Yeah.
So it just kind of worked out for them. They're doing a seance over Zoom.
Bad idea.
So, well, yeah, I would say so. And so basically, they invite the lady in to like guide them or whatever. Her internet's really shitty. So once they start, she gets cut out and they're on their own. And they're like, okay, we've got like a ghost here with us, blah, blah. And it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. The thing that is great about this movie is that it's an hour long. It's not really a feature film.
Oh, it's 1 hour long.
I'm pretty sure that would technically make it a short film,
Yeah.
But that's perfect. You don't need an hour and a half of Zoom meeting. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
To just drag it out just so it could like be in a theater and stuff like that would be so harmful to this movie because the pacing is perfect how it is. I mean, I might even say it's even a little bit too long by the end, like even slice it a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But still, compared to like an hour and a half movie that you're trying to do like this, the length is like perfect compared.
Interesting.
And it's Zoom, so you have your share of jump scares, happening and everything like that. It does rely a lot on that stuff, but a lot of people hate jump scares. If you do them the right way, they can be really fun, and again, the whole movie isn't reliant on jump scares. It's just it is a tool that they use in their repertoire. I thought it was pretty good. It's only an hour. Whoa! That was a jump scare. That was very unfair to everybody. Especially people.
Sorry to the headphone users out there.
But what was I even saying?
I don't know.
It's a good movie and you should check it out. one interesting thing about this movie, since it was done in quarantine, was that none of the actors actually like were in the same room ever. You know, it was all separate. The director was just in on the Zoom meeting and be like, okay, you guys at this house, you got to do this, this, and this. You guys at this house,
Oh, really?
you know, set this up. The prosthetics that they did, one of the actors was saying, it's like, oh yeah, I had the prosthetics person on the phone and they were just telling me how to apply it myself. They sent over all the materials and they were guiding me through how to do all the prosthetics on my face. And I was like, wow, that's a really
cool.
interesting idea. But yeah, I'd say check it out. It's not, I'm not saying it's the best movie ever made or anything, but it is a fun romp. All right.
The best movie ever made. You heard it right here.
Well, no, I'm about to talk about the best movie ever made.
Okay.
Which is also on Shudder, and that's Tammy and the T-Rex.
It sounds like the best movie ever made.
Tammy and the T-Rex. Do you want to guess what it's about?
Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen it?
No, I'm like that.
You're just a film buff. Tammy and the T-Rex starring Denise Richards as Tammy and Paul Walker as T-Rex.
How old is this movie?
Oh, pretty old, like 1984 or something like
okay.
that. Yeah, Tammy is Denise Richards. Paul Walker is the T-Rex.
How old?
Oh, they're very young.
He's got to be like 12.
They're young. No, he's not. He's like probably 20, maybe. I don't know.
Was he really that? Okay.
Or it wasn't. It might have been 90. No, it had to be 1985. Jurassic Park came out 84?
Jurassic Park came out in 94.
94. Oh, 95. I'm totally mixed up. Right, E.T. was 84. I'm all over the place today.
Okay.
Tammy the T-Rex is about a girl, Denise Richards, and she has a boyfriend, and her boyfriend's kind of mean, so Paul Walker's like, hey, stop being mean. So her boyfriend kills him.
Oh my gosh.
No, he feeds him to a lion, but he survives, and then he dies in the hospital because a doctor wants his brain. And the doctor takes his brain, he puts it into a T-Rex.
What?
An animatronic T-Rex.
Bro.
And then Paul Walker, I forget the character's name, is in the T-Rex. So Paul Walker's out of the film from here on. He's only in the beginning, and then he's just played by an animatronic T-Rex.
Got it.
And he goes around, being a T-Rex, he gets revenge on the boyfriend and everything, and he wants to fall back in love with Tammy. He's like, Tammy, I love you or whatever. He tries to call her on the phone, so he goes to the payphone, he picks it up with his T-Rex hand, he calls her, and he goes, and she's like, who is this? No, she does. I don't think she picks up, but he didn't really think it through, the phone call. It was pretty fun.
And this is a horror movie?
Well, that's the thing. It is a horror-only service, but it does have... Well, is Zombieverse a horror movie? You got to think of it in that vein, you know?
Okay.
There's gore. There's lots of gore, and bloody effects and all that. So that's kind of what puts it into that category. It's not the funniest movie. It's not the most well-written movie. It's not the most entertaining movie. So Shudder is a great service. And, yeah. No, if I had to say one more thing, it's that there's a character in this. My favorite character in the movie, and it should be everyone's favorite character,
T-Rex.
is Byron.
Oh.
Byron is her gay black friend. And you already know who the character is just from me saying that. And his dad is like the police chief or the sheriff or whatever. And I don't know, I just like the relationship. I thought I was like, is this supposed to be in this movie? Like this Tammy and the T-Rex movie, this kind of interesting relationship between a father and son. And then, spoiler alert, the movie ends the same way as Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
Yeah, he's in a barn, and they're like, come out, T-Rex.
And then he goes into...
well, actually, I lied.
Mode
The real ending is Denise Richards becomes a e-girl, and she wears a bunch of like white lingerie and dances around in front of a camera that his brain is connected to. And she's like, I love you.
Okay. I think we're done.
I think we're done
with Tammy and the T-Rex.
I recommend it. I give it two T-Rex thumbs ups. Okay, that's it. That's the end of my week. Oh wait, well, let me talk about Shudder actually a little bit though. It is a great service. The phone app's a little funky sometimes. The main thing about it and why I was holding off from it for so long is that they don't have a smart TV app, so I can't just put it up on my TV. I have to cast from like my computer to my TV, and it's just annoying. As soon as they get a smart TV app,
it's over. It's game over.
I'll like hands down. I will be recommending it to everyone at all possible times. And I am eager to check out a lot of their originals because Host was good. And they make a lot of originals, which is awesome because it's just horror content all the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's my week. Let's see your week.
Well,
See how you compare.
I saw a movie called Upgrade.
Upgrade. That's yeah.
Fairly new film,
Mm-hmm.
2018, I think. It's about a guy who it has a wife, and they're chilling. It's not like way future, but like pretty near future.
Okay.
They have a lot of really like things that we definitely don't have, but it's
Yeah.
not too far. And he's like a real old fashioned guy. He likes to work on like old cars and stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But his wife gets murdered by these bad guys, and he gets paralyzed from the
Oh.
neck down.
Okay.
And the movie is about he's kind of friends with a big genius tech man
Cool.
who creates this thing called STEM, which is like a little
Science, technology, engineering, and math, right?
I don't
Whatever.
I don't remember.
In
but
high
it's
school, they're like, you gotta take a STEM. And I was
It's
like,
not
yeah, my
that.
camera.
It's not that. They put it, and he's like, this is a secret. We're gonna, because he's like, I can't, the government won't let me use this, so you gotta be hush hush about it. So he puts the STEM into him, and the STEM is gonna help him to walk again.
It's gonna
to use
upgrade
things.
him.
He's getting upgraded.
Sweet.
And so he gets upgraded, and then he's chilling, and he's like, well, I have to go avenge my wife, right? So he then basically the rest of the movie is him going on a little revenge quest to avenge his wife and kill her murderers.
Now, the people who made this, was it... can't remember if it was people behind Venom or, like, Hardcore Henry, but it was one of the two.
Connected to Venom somehow. I
It's
don't know
Venom?
for sure. I know
Okay,
it's somehow
yeah.
connected to Venom. I don't know for sure, but I remember hearing a lot of Venom talk.
Because I remember seeing trailers for Upgrade, and
Right.
they were very similar to a certain scene in Venom where the symbiote's taking over Eddie Brock, and he's fighting, but he doesn't really want to, and the symbiote's kind of doing it all. Where in the Upgrade, it seemed kind of like the same idea, where he didn't really know.
It might just be people drawing like similarities.
Maybe, okay. Because it also reminded me of the Tuxedo with Jackie Chan, where he couldn't fight, but the Tuxedo could. So when he
Right.
wore the Tuxedo, he was a master
Interesting.
martial artsman.
Yeah. So it was a really fun movie, and since we are talking about action scenes later, this movie has some really cool action scenes. They do a thing where like when STEM takes over to like fight for him, the camera like locks onto him and will like move in any direction he's moving, and it's like really interesting. I've never seen like action scene like filmed like that. It's really funny, the action scenes, because he's just like, STEM, what are we doing?
Right, yeah.
And STEM's like, chill, bro, I got it.
STEM talks?
STEM talks.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not know this.
He's like, he talks like an AI would talk.
Oh, like Jarvis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really good. I don't want to give spoilers for the end, but it has a pretty good ending, I think.
Can I ask where you watched it?
I rented it on Amazon
Gotcha.
Prime.
Okay, because that's kind of what was keeping me. I was hoping it would show up somewhere.
Yeah, it was like $4 or something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I rented it. But yeah, it was good. I really liked it. I would definitely like to watch it again. It's a really cool movie.
Yeah.
Because just seeing the way they do the action scenes. Apparently they like hit a phone like somewhere on the actor, and then they just had a camera that could like connect to the phone, and the camera would just, wherever the phone went, the camera would just automatically follow
cool.
it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I liked it a lot. I think if you're into like sci-fi AI shit.
Do you think that one kind of went under the radar?
It did. This movie's extremely overlooked.
Yeah.
I think it could have been, I think, a big
Hit.
hit, but
Say la
it's a little
vie.
smaller movie. It's low budget, but it looks really good, and it's pretty sick. And another thing I watched,
Oh, yeah.
recommended by you last week.
Oh, yeah.
This is his favorite, second
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. Or third. I don't know. I don't remember.
Whatever. On his top 5.
Yeah.
Paprika.
Paprika.
I watched it,
You didn't like it.
and I liked it.
You liked it.
Well, okay.
But not as much as me, obviously.
It's just what a strange,
that's why I love
attack
it.
of your
It's
eyeballs.
such a endless assault of just color and shape.
It is just crazy,
And it gets crazier as it goes
animation,
on.
And yeah, by the end, I'm just like, bro,
That's-
I'm just in another world.
Right. That's one of the things that I really admired about it, because at the end, you're like, oh, I I feel like I'm in a dream because I can't parse some of this information.
Yeah,
you know?
it gets so crazy in the end, and it can be interpreted in like so many ways. You have
Definitely.
to watch it. Like, I'll definitely have to see it again sometime. But I really liked it. I mean,
You don't even know what to say.
I don't
'cause-
even know what really happened.
right.
Like,
right.
I know what happened, but like I
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
know like what happened. I
Mhm.
definitely have to see it more times. But I did like it. Maybe I like it more on repeat viewings, which I can really
Dig in.
like
and
dig in and
notice all the
try
details
to
and
figure
stuff like
things
that.
out. But yeah, you can definitely see how Inception was totally inspired
Right.
by
Exactly.
this movie.
There's a ton
Like,
of
come
stuff in
on.
it. Yeah. It is very cool.
Yeah.
And I did see Inception before Paprika. So I never got to see Paprika first, but I wonder how that feels for people who have seen Paprika and they're like, wait a second, Chris,
Chris, what are you doing?
you listened to it in Japanese.
Yeah.
The English isn't bad because I've
Oh,
watched
yeah.
multiple times. So I've watched it in English by now. English isn't bad,
Good.
so that's good for them. What else? Shows?
I got 2 shows
Okay.
that I'm about to talk about. That I've talked about them before, but I've seen the newer seasons.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I watched this past week season 3 of The Last Kingdom on Netflix.
Right.
There's 4 seasons right now, so I got one more season to go, and then I'm officially caught up. This season solidified this show as one of the best Netflix shows
Ooh.
that I think you can watch. Obviously, there's Dark, which we
yeah.
talked about, and then this show, which I am thoroughly enjoying. This I thought this season was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in a lot of unexpected ways, and I talked last time about my favorite character, Ethelwald,
Yes.
and how he's like just kind of a dude that just like is chilling,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like working behind the scenes to try to get what he wants. And he goes nuts. They go nuts with this character in this season. He does some crazy shit. And his character, unfortunately, comes to an end
Oh,
in this season.
because he turns into a god.
He
Right?
just becomes so powerful. He goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
No, but he's just, in the first like 2 seasons, he's just kind of pushed off as kind of just like a,
Mm-hmm.
not like completely comical relief, but he is there for comical relief, and people just kind of push him off as like he's not a real threat to
Like
anybody.
Scrappy Doo and
Yeah.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah. But then in this season, about halfway through the season, he makes an extreme decision and he murders somebody.
Okay.
And it's like literally one of the nastiest murders I've ever seen. I
Oh,
was like,
jeez.
I was like, bro, what are you
Yeah.
doing? And then from that point, he becomes like a nasty villain
Ooh.
for the back half of the season. And he gets his eye like burned out. So he has like one eye. He's like Two-Face now. So he's
Oh,
got like a
very
nasty
cool.
eye, and he doesn't wear an eye patch because he wants everyone to look at it.
Oh, sweet.
And he goes crazy in this season, and it all falls apart for him in the end.
Aw, poor
But
guy.
I loved him. My absolute favorite character of the show, no doubt.
Still, even.
Oh yeah, I mean,
cool.
he's not in it anymore, so I'll have
Right.
to. I still have other characters that I really like, but he was totally my favorite. I don't know how other people feel. I haven't been on like any internet for the show, so I don't know if people like him. If I'm like on an island,
Right.
the Ethelwald Island.
Yeah.
But no, it was really cool. And then another thing I wanted to mention was his name,
Remember was the word.
David Dawson. He plays King Alfred.
Okay.
His performance in this season was so good. And there's a scene, he's like dying throughout the season. He has an illness and he's dying. So he's trying to prepare his son to take the throne.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in the last episode that he's in, which is like the penultimate episode for the season. And he and Uhtred, the main character, they have a conversation, and they've been at odds for like Uhtred is in his service, but they're always at odds. And basically, he's like so messed up, and they just have a really long, like 20-minute scene where they just talk. And even though he's such a frail, like Colt, and he's like shaking and stuff,
Yeah.
he is like so powerful in every single like scene that he's in the season. And in that one in particular, I mean, when I was watching it, I was like, this is as good as Jaime and Brienne in the baths
Oh,
in
sweet.
Game of Thrones. And I was like,
Very
whoa,
cool.
this show's really hitting another level for me right now. And yeah, I really loved season 3. Had super cool battles. I still love the music and the cinematography. It's all really great. And season 4, it just came out like this year, so I'm totally watching that like this week,
Yeah,
and I'm ready to go.
I like Netflix, but they got a thing for shows with like the Kingdom and like there's like what the Kingdom, the Kingdom.
Well, The King is a movie.
Well, still
Kingdom is a show, though. I know what you're talking
Kingdom,
about.
and then the Last Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure there's one that's just the Kingdom.
I don't know about that.
I think I maybe.
And then there's Peaky Blinders.
There's Peaky Blinders. Is it? I always said Blinders because I thought it was funnier. Peaky Blinders.
I don't know.
I
but
heard
yeah,
that's good. That's good.
it is good. I'm excited to see season 4.
Okay.
Another thing, the last show that I watched, it was Black Lagoon anime.
Right.
I saw the second season of it. That's it. It's just 2 seasons. And it was pretty good. The first half is just kind of like what the show's been doing, just like a bunch of like little like kind of anthology-ish things. Not really anthology, it's the same people, but
okay.
Just like different adventures that they go on or whatever. But then the second half of the season turns into like an extremely dark, mature show for like the last like 6 episodes, and it's nasty. There's blood, there's language, there's really gross stuff going on, and it was really good.
Okay.
The second half, it's just like a bunch of like mafia stuff going on, and it's because I feel like most of the popular animes have like crazy power stuff going on. This is very grounded. You know, it's literally just people with guns.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I really enjoyed where they took a lot of the characters. It ends on like, I don't want to say like a sad, it is kind of sad in the end, but everyone ends in a good spot, I would say. They could totally make more, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
So I'm chilling with it. I thought it was pretty good.
Is that new?
No, it's from like 2006.
Oh, okay. So they're probably not gonna.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's over for
Okay.
sure, but they could have if they wanted to.
They can reboot it as an American Netflix live action movie.
Yeah, but that would be cool. Maybe they could. They might be able to do that. I don't know.
Okay.
But they talk in English like a lot in the show, and it's just like I've never seen an anime like that where they just like talk in English a lot. That's like a big point in the second half, especially, and it's just weird. I don't know.
But
I just
good.
wanted. Yeah, it's
Weird,
good,
but
but
good.
they're just like talking in English. I'm like, bro, I'm watching an anime right now.
Yeah, it's like I selected dub. What is or sub? What is
I wanted to
happening?
watch the subs.
But what happens if you do watch it in dub? Do they just not?
I don't know. I thought about that. I was
That's
like, well,
interesting.
how are they supposed to like? Maybe they just talk in Spanish instead of English.
But then you have to read subtitles, and people would be like, "I don't want to read subtitles." And
Bro,
they'll turn
that's
it
what
off.
I'm saying. I don't know how they do that with the sub or the dub, but whatever.
So the research is required.
It was good. I like Black Lagoon. I'd recommend it for people that like more of a
Grounded experience.
grounded, darker, mature story.
Okay.
And then I played a game, which I have been playing for a long time. Ghost of Tsushima. I just wanted to say a few things about it really quick. I'm still really very much enjoying it. I have a lot of hours in this game, and I'm not even halfway. But I'm having a lot of fun. I haven't played one side quest that I have been disinterested in,
Wow.
even for like a moment. I'm like really, they're all like really cool, just like little stories. I mean, they're quick. There's no like really long side quests. You're like, dude, I just want this to be over.
Yeah.
They're all like really quick, like just go here, do this, and then you're good. I really like it. At the end of the first act, you go to save Lord Shimura from Castle Kaneda. And that was probably, I think, a little bit of a letdown. I don't want to say like a letdown, like it was a fun mission and it was cool, but it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. I guess I just kind of got my hopes too high for like a third of the way through the game. But other than that, I'm really digging this game. I know everybody seems to be totally enjoying it. It's super cool, and I'll beat it in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Probably.
See you in 3 months.
That was it for me.
That's it. So we got to move on to the news, and boy howdy, buckle in. We've got quite a bit of news. I can attempt to go through it fast because there's a lot of stuff that I can probably just skip over that's not super important.
Okay.
But
Do your
you
thing.
know, I want to just make sure we can get through all of it before it's night, bitch.
Okay.
Because Amy Adams is to star as woman who thinks she's turning into a dog in Annapurna's Night Bitch. It's Rachel Yoder's upcoming novel. Night Bitch is the next star vehicle for Amy Adams. So it's just, just keeping up with Amy Adams, seeing what she's up to. It's a novel. It's interesting sounding.
Turning into a dog. Thinks she's turning into a dog.
Right. It's mostly going to seem like it's going to be a thing of anxiety. She's going to be left alone with just her 2-year-old, you know, and just left alone for a long period of time. Sounds pretty contemporary, if you ask me, you know, being stuck in a place with only the person you're there with. Very interesting. It says that there's going to be a multi-level marketing scheme of a group of moms all named Jen.
All named Jen?
So I don't know what's up with that.
Weird.
It sounds interesting. We really don't know too much about it as far as the actual like release comes and everything. But you know, interesting.
Very strange.
I hope she actually does turn into a dog. I hope that it's not just, you know, because I'll be real. She's stuck in a place with one other person for a long period of time and turns into a dog. Kind of ripping off Robert Eggers a little bit, if you ask me. You know, like it's kind of, I don't know.
I mean,
Robert Eggers should look into this, you know?
if he wants to.
He could. I just made it's a pretty good case, I think he has. A little other Amy Adams thing is that the other movie that she's already made, as far as I know, you know, it's like done. Woman in the Window,
Yes.
which I think was like probably the last preview I saw in a theater was for like Woman in the Window.
Yeah.
You know?
That was when we went and saw The Invisible Man.
Yeah. That one is going to be going to Netflix, apparently. It's going to be coming to Netflix, and that's where it's going to be releasing. Disney's
That's
like,
exciting.
I don't know about that, because it seems like it's going to be a little more adult-centered. But Amy Adams, you know, keep it up, girl.
I would definitely be watching that. I was excited for that movie, and I've been waiting to see it for a long time.
Woman in the Window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out like 4 months ago.
It was supposed to come out a while ago. Have you watched Scream?
No.
I didn't think so.
You know, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know.
a big horror. Well, I'm trying to get into horror.
Right, exactly.
I'm trying.
So I'm just going to breeze through this. Scream, Courtney Cox reprising her role as news reporter Gail Weathers in Spyglass Media Group and Paramount relaunch. So Scream 5 is going to happen. As being made by the people who made like Ready or Not, VHS, and the screenplay by James Vanderbilt, and Guy Busick, who also did Ready or Not. And, you know, it's a new Scream movie. It could be awful.
It could be okay.
It could be good.
Could be.
I remember back in like, I don't know, 2010 or something.
The good old days.
Yeah, they did like they tried really hard to like reboot the horror of the 80s and stuff, you know, like reboot all those movies.
Yeah.
Because they did Friday the 13th reboot, and I never saw any of the reboots. I heard that one was pretty bad. Then the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot was apparently like really bad.
Really bad. Okay.
And then I think they did like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. So, you know, they're a little late on this one. They should have been doing this in 2010. No, but it's exciting to just see what's up. Scream 1 and 2, good. Scream 3, bad. Scream 4, good. Scream 5? Who knows? If you need me to really simplify it, that is a very simple way of talking about it. But let's move on just so we can get a move on here. Comedy Central to revive Ren and Stimpy after years of controversy. A new creative team will lead the series created by John Kay, who was previously accused of sexual harassment.
Oh boy.
Interesting time to reboot a show with such controversy around it, I think. I never watched it on purpose, I should say. You know, if it happened, it happened around me, and I was a victim of it. Not saying it's bad. I don't know. I don't care to know. It's too ugly and gross. Have you?
No, I don't. I've never even heard of that.
Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not very cultured.
You've never heard of Ren and Stimpy, really?
No, bro.
You amaze me every day.
Sorry.
Every day I'm amazed. Well, why don't we just move on then? The Ren and Stimpy is little cartoon characters.
He's got a bowling ball for a nose.
Wow. That's amazing that you said that.
Why? Does he use it as a bowling ball?
Ren and Stimpy is a weird, gross cartoon, and it's coming back, I guess, to Comedy Central. Moving on. Disney and Pixar, I should say, is making a new film called Luca.
I saw this.
Yes, where two friends are spending a summer together in the Italian Riviera.
Call Me by Your Name, but Pixar.
It's G-rated Call Me by Your Name Friendship Edition, where they're just friends.
They're just friends, guys. Okay.
Well, actually, instead of him being gay, he's a sea monster, which is basically the same thing when you think about it. You know,
Yeah.
you've gotta hide deep down what you really are by swimming underwater until you drown. That's just like what I'm told being gay is like.
Mm.
Did you know gay people drown the most?
Is this a joke?
I don't know. I was just asking, do you know if gay people drown the most?
No, I don't know.
Anyway, there's an image that released for this film, which is really beautiful.
It's very nice looking.
I wish the movie was going to look like this. It's a 2D painterly.
Yeah, it'd be cool if that was the style.
Yeah, it's like
of animation.
2D, I don't know, what would you call that? Like almost oil painting-ish look?
Pastel. I don't know.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. It's really beautiful.
It's very nice.
It does give you exactly the tone. It's a real tone setter for the film. You know, I know exactly what it's going to be like. I wish it looked like this. I wish it wasn't going to be just the 3D Pixar look. If they could go back to this 2D awesome stuff, I would be amazed.
That would be cool.
I would give it all of my money. Not all of it, but enough. Exciting though. I'll check it out.
For real. Me too.
Tenet.
Dude, I don't know if this will make me mad if we talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, it won't make me mad, but I'm just upset that everyone gets to see it before me.
Well, explain it. What's going on?
They're gonna open Tenet everywhere else except for America because we suck.
We do suck. They're gonna open it internationally first on August 26th, with U.S. release in select cities to follow over Labor Day weekend.
Which won't happen.
Probably not, but select theaters. So maybe in certain places where we're not.
Nightlight.
The nightlight. Oh, dude, that'd be sick. But
I'd go.
they can probably only see like 10 people at a time.
I would go.
I would go. I'd wear a lot of protection.
I would get that hazmat suit on and I would go.
Exactly.
Just to see Tenet.
But yeah,
I want to know what the movie's about.
Tenet's gonna be a second for us. Everyone else. So like, I guess watch out for spoilers.
It's gonna be hard.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to avoid spoilers now somehow. We won't be able to go on the internet for like a year.
Assuming this movie is something that can be spoiled, because a lot of
right, yeah.
Can you spoil Inception? Like maybe.
I guess you really can't.
It's like it's like, oh, they shoot each other sometimes. It's like, oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, I guess you can't really.
We're just gonna get it last. We're gonna be last place for Tenet, which is I feel bad for you because I know Christopher Nolan is like super up there for you.
Love Christopher Nolan.
I mean,
Very
I do too.
Of
course he is, but you're like his bitch.
Bro.
Speaking of like stuff happening in theaters, Universal and AMC theaters have announced a game-changing 17-day theatrical window agreement.
Yeah.
Now what that means is that films will be allowed to become video on demand services.
Universal films.
Universal films. Only need to be in theaters for 17 days to then go on to a buy it at home kind of platform, video on demand.
Yeah.
Which it used to be, I think, is like at least 90 days was the original.
Yeah, it's like way shorter than what it is.
Yeah, 17 to 90. That's a pretty big deal, you know? It's a multi-year agreement, so it's not just going to be like the rest of the year. This is going to be around for a while until, maybe they re-up it. Maybe they take a step back and like, hey, let's go back to how things were.
Well, we won't have to worry about it, though. We got no AMCs around here.
Right, that's true.
So we're chilling.
But at least, we'll have to worry in a few years if we'll have to wait longer again to see their whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess this could be starting a trend, maybe.
Right.
That would suck, I think. But
that would suck? Why do you think that would suck? For theaters, just because you think theaters would start closing down? Or
yes.
Okay.
It could possibly be. I mean, movie theaters are already in a tough spot.
Right now, certainly, yes.
They were in a tough spot before all this, and now they're in a really tough spot, and I really like movie theaters.
Yeah, movie theaters are cool. I don't want to see them go, but I can't say that. I don't know. If movie theaters stopped happening, I would make a movie theater.
Yeah, that's what I would build one.
Right, exactly.
I would invite everybody.
That'd have to go. I know that actually. I think theaters near us are doing a thing where you can rent theaters now for like $100. You can be like, give us $100, and the theater is yours for the showing of the movie. So you can have like, they put limits as like max like 30 people or whatever. But it's like, yeah, give us $100, and theater's yours, sure, whatever. Has to be like your party though.
I would do it, and it would be just me.
Okay. Well,
Here's $100 for me to watch Blade Runner by myself.
but if you have 30 people, $100, you know, that's like $3 from each person. You're like, oh, sweet. You
Yeah.
know, that's a great deal. I mean, I don't think I mean, I probably could gather 30 people, but
$100 for Dolphin Tale 2 in the front row by yourself.
okay. Well, they aren't showing Dolphin Tale 2 right now, but if they were, I would jump right on that.
It's got to make a comeback, hopefully.
Dolphin Tale 2, guys, check it out. When's the third?
Bro, they need to finish the trilogy.
Trilogy needs
I'm
to
telling
end,
you,
dude.
bro.
Toothless needs. I'm telling you. This is a me story. It's really a non-story, but you know, me and Zach Sharf, we're on the same page here. Thanks, Zach. Is a new David Lynch film or series on the way? There might be things coming along. A new Twin Peaks project? A Netflix original movie? Rumors have been swirling for months about new David Lynch shit. David Lynch, I don't know if you know this. I don't think I've mentioned it. I did it with the outro last week, I believe. But he's got a YouTube channel that he started uploading to again recently. He does daily weather reports where he tells you the weather, and the weather's always the same because he lives in LA, and the weather never changes there. It's always blue skies, golden sunshine, very still right now. And then he tells everyone to have a great day.
Do that last week.
Exactly.
Last episode.
And so the last thing that he did was Twin Peaks Season 3, The Return. In 2017. That was like the last big project that he did. He has short films that he's like uploaded to his
What Did Jack Do?
His YouTube. There's What Did Jack Do? Which was a Netflix thing, which is why a lot of people are saying that his new project could be a Netflix exclusive kind of deal.
Sure.
It could be a random show. It could be a random movie. You know, he could just be like producing. We really don't know.
Triplet Peaks.
But something is, you made that joke. Something is happening.
Twin Valleys.
That's better. Something is happening with David Lynch. He's not going to speak on it. If it was season 4 of Twin Peaks, okay, I want David Lynch to do what makes him happy and what he feels he needs to do. But, I mean, more Twin Peaks. Okay, well, let's speak honestly. I'm going to speak. David Lynch doesn't got a lot of time left. Okay? That's all I'm saying. He's older gentleman. So, if this is where Twin Peaks ends, good. But this is the last time we could ever get anything Twin Peaks that I will accept is until he is dead, which will be very soon.
And don't say that.
But you know what I mean.
He's got another 20 years.
No, he's a healthy man, but I'm just saying it's not that long, especially because all the actors are very old as well. But if it's anything else, I don't care. He's my favorite director, you know. So anything he does, I mean, unless it sucks. I don't think it will, but
right.
I'm not so blinded that I'll just say anything he makes is good. Like Dune, kind of a, you know, but as long as he doesn't do, what if he does another Dune?
Wait,
for
hold
Denis
on, I just
Villeneuve.
thought about this.
Okay.
Your favorite director is David Lynch.
Yes.
My favorite director is Denis Villeneuve. How fitting would it be
Wow.
for Denis Villeneuve to come in and remake Dune and have it be a masterpiece?
Yeah.
While your guy made an okay movie.
Well,
Wow.
when Denis Villeneuve makes a TV show, and
How
it sucks,
fitting would that be?
When Denis Villeneuve makes a TV show and it sucks, we'll talk about who. I don't know.
I just thought about that.
No, it is funny. But I mean, I think that I don't know if Denis Villeneuve's a fan of David Lynch. I wonder.
I mean, I'm sure he's seen the movie.
Oh well, certainly, but I just mean like of the rest of his stuff. Because again,
Right. I don't know.
of all his stuff, Dune is kind of like out of left field. Like you watch all of his movies and then you watch Dune and you're like, why is this happening? Like,
Kinda, yeah.
Why is this weird sci-fi thing? He usually does, you know, like thrillers.
He's been going on a big sci-fi trip lately. He did like Arrival and Blade
I was talking
Runner,
about
and now he's doing
David
Dune.
Lynch.
Oh.
That's like the only sci-fi thing he's done really.
Oh.
So it's like why is he doing that? That's why it's so out of left field for him.
Okay.
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve, he's always been sci-fi guy.
Yeah.
He's
That's
been
why I was
deep in it.
confused.
Yeah, that's why you should listen better. Anyway,
Maybe you should talk better.
dozens of former go to a happier story. Dozens of former The Ellen DeGeneres Show employees accuse producers of rampant sexual misconduct.
Happier.
Ellen has responded to allegations of racism and toxicity, and she's like, "What?" That's her response. She's like, "Oh, I don't know. What? I'm blind. I cannot see or hear. I am blind. Did you know? I am Ellen DeGeneres." She had hoped the show would be a place of happiness where everyone would be treated with respect and was disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. I don't know if I buy it. Because most of the things I've heard is that Ellen herself is kind of not great. Again, I don't know. I don't know Ellen. I've never met Ellen.
Either. I mean, I always thought she seemed like a
Fake.
shady, a faker.
I always thought she came off pretty fake, like on her show and everything. She felt like whenever I watch the Ellen DeGeneres show, which is not often. I mean, I probably last time I watched it was like 2012 or something. It always felt to me like she was like I was watching a movie about a person who had a TV show. Does that make sense? Like she was an actress being
geez.
Ellen DeGeneres
Yeah.
on the Ellen show. But a lot of gross stuff that was going on. It's being investigated officially by Warner Media to see what kind of abuse was going on. And I hope that the people who need to get got. That's all I hope. Ellen,
Yes, sir.
let's clean it up. Let's clean it up, guys.
Mm.
If I ever find out that there is sexual harassment, Marilyn, in the Stagler, I will blow my top.
Better watch yourself.
Better watch yourself, Marilyn. Netflix. Again, we're back on the good times. The Witcher prequel series in the works at Netflix. It's just in the works. Probably pretty far off. They seem pretty confident to do a prequel series.
It's very soon.
It is very soon for them to do that.
You know what, we're doing it.
I think Netflix is maybe getting a little scared of all the competition kind of ramping up lately,
Could be.
Netflix has been along for a long time, and
they were OG.
I probably said this years ago, and I'm just going to say it again now that I was wrong back then. It seems like now that streaming is becoming the main thing, like almost certainly 100%, you know what I mean? It's like I said that a few years ago when I cut the cable cord and everything, but now it seems like it really is going to be the future is all this streaming stuff. But The Witcher Blood Origin is a limited series, so it's only going to be the one thing unless they change their mind, like shows sometimes do. It's going to tell the backstory of the Elven civilization before its fall and reveal the lost history of the very first Witcher.
Interesting.
It's going to be shot in the UK. It's going to be 6-part live action, and it's just going to be a prequel to The Witcher. There's nobody cast or anything. It's going to be all about the conjunction of the spheres, which did you even get far enough to know what that is? Okay. Well, do you want to explain a little bit? Or
If you want to, I'll listen.
the conjunction of the spheres is just when like the world and the magical world just kind of like conjuncted.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that's it. And it ruined everything.
Oh.
But yeah, it is soon, but I like The Witcher, so who knows?
The Witcher was cool.
It makes me wonder, are they going to get someone like Henry Cavill to be in it? Are they going to get a name?
They got to get a famous person up
Right?
there.
Because I would say that he probably did carry a lot of what worked with it in The Witcher was him. If it was
sure.
all no names, I might have not as felt as strongly about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Comic-Con at home failed to generate buzz
I didn't even know that was a thing.
with YouTube
So there you
panels
go.
averaging 15,000 views, and that's exactly why I brought this story up. What?
Comic-Con at home?
Comic-Con at
When?
home happened? This is a total marketing failure. Variety published a report analyzing the failure of Comic-Con at home, the virtual fan convention that ran from July 22nd to 26th in place of the annual San Diego Comic-Con, which
Wow.
was canceled due to reasons. Again, I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, I had no idea this was the thing.
I probably would have totally, because I've never been to Comic-Con. I've never been to any con. I know you have.
Kind of. It wasn't really a con, but yeah.
It wasn't? I thought it literally had con in the title.
DreamHack.
Wait, DreamHack. Okay, right. Whatever. Furry Con that you went to.
No.
I've got my Furry Con for Furry Con.
Well, Sonic Fox was there.
Sonic Fox was there. So
If
it
you wanted
basically
to know.
turned into...
What is that?
I don't know. We just saw a weird image. I'm going to scroll away. Comic-Con at home. Didn't even know what's happening. I wish I would have known because I probably would have checked it out. But, let it die. Let it die.
Kill it.
Judge Dredd. Do you know Judge Dredd? Did you see the movie Dredd? 3D?
No, you know this.
Yeah, I know. But I was wondering if maybe you had, and I hadn't asked since.
I would let you know if I watched Dread.
Okay, good. I have it. You can borrow it. Judge
I have
Dredd.
it too.
Wait, really?
I have it.
Oh,
I
wow.
do have it.
That's sad. Judge Dredd TV series on hold due to pandemic. A long-awaited follow-up
Dang.
to 2012's Dredd is in development, but it's put on hold. I just want to let everybody know that it's still happening. This is still a thing that's going to happen. As far as I know, it is, like they said, a follow-up,
Cool.
which is exciting. Love that movie. Speaking of action things, I didn't have any, but it has a lot of cool pieces and that set pieces and stuff like that. The coolest thing about that movie is that there's a drug they have in it that everybody takes that is like slows everything down. So if they're killing people on
Compound V.
drugs, they'll take it and everything will be slow-mo and people get shot through the cheek and it'll be slow-mo and the blood will spray everywhere. And that makes its way into the ending of the film. And I won't say how or why, but it is a really good ending.
Cool.
Moving
Right.
on, we got a question a few weeks ago about video games that could be turned into movies or shows.
Yeah.
And what we didn't mention, because I don't think a game for this series has come out in like a decade, is Splinter Cell.
Wow.
Do you know Splinter Cell?
I've played. I don't remember which one, but I did play one of them. It was
Okay.
pretty fun.
Splinter Cell anime series from John Wick writer Derek Kolstad, set at Netflix.
Netflix, they're doing it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a Splinter Cell anime, like anime. Anime be.
Anime. Netflix has a lot of animes actually.
They
It's
do.
quite surprising.
Yeah, they're into it. A lot of like original animes
Mhm.
too. I heard the only one I tried to watch was the Godzilla one. I turned it off.
You didn't like it?
No.
Dang.
Well, because it wasn't. It was like, never mind. I don't want to talk about it.
Sure.
But I assume it's just gonna be a completely new taking the character. I think his name's Sam Fisher.
Sam Fisher.
Just taking the character and putting him into his own thing. Tom Hardy was attached to be Fisher like a long time ago, but it's not sure exactly if that's still gonna happen. I don't know. Sure, yeah, he works. I wasn't really, when I think of Tom Hardy, I think of someone I guess a little more like, I guess Sam Fisher and Tom Hardy I don't see as the same person, but he's an actor, so he can make it work. I don't see Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock either. I still don't really, but he was in the movie, so
Right.
no thoughts on the Splinter Cell thing.
I might check it out. I'll wait for a trailer.
I have a thing where I will check out any video game adaptation at all, even if I barely know the game.
Right.
I'll check it out I want to be there when there's the one that people are like, oh, this is the one where they did it right, which people said was Tomb Raider, but I don't know about that.
The newest one?
Yeah. People are like, this is the best one.
I mean, it probably is, but that doesn't mean it's good.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I'm waiting for the one that knocks people's socks off. And I guess the best one is The Witcher now.
Yeah, but does The Witcher really count? Because
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, it's like the books too.
it's not just a game.
Yeah, it is, right, because it is based off the books anyway.
Mm.
It's just another adaptation going in.
Yeah. Whatever.
So if you're listening to this, then you're hearing something. What are you hearing? You're hearing the human voice. Now, what is the human voice? The human voice is Pedro Almodovar's English language short film debut. First time shooting in English.
Oh.
It's gonna world premiere at the 2020 Venice Film Festival. Short film with Tilda Swinton. She's gonna
Love
be
her.
Yeah, she's cool. She's got a very interesting look to her.
She got those AirPods in, I think.
Exactly. She's styling back here. Pedro Almodovar, first time shooting in English. It's kind of hard to believe. I guess he's not very popular in any English. Well, I don't know if I can say that, but he's
I
not
don't
very
know too
popular
much.
in. But again, how many people do you know who are like, oh yeah, Almodovar films? Right?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Except for you.
Exactly. But it is going to be very cool to see him in that. I wonder if it's going to change anything. If his filmmaking, how it's going to affect it. And working with Tilda Swinton, I don't know if they've worked together, but I like her in most stuff she's in. So
Yeah,
See,
she's a great actress. Like her a lot.
I don't know if I've ever liked a Tilda Swinton character, like not her acting, but like the character where I was like,
think.
oh, I like this character. It's always been like,
Snowpiercer?
No, but I mean oh yeah, this character is like, oh yeah, go her. You know, it's always a character who I was like, oh, they've got some bad things with them. You know what I mean?
So you didn't like her. You didn't like her character in Snowpiercer.
I wasn't rooting for her character. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm not rooting for Ethelwald in The Last Kingdom, but I love to watch him.
Right.
do his
Okay.
thing.
I don't know. I guess I've just never. Yeah, we're talking about different things then. I've never been like totally behind. I guess the closest is Marvel. Her what do you call it? Grand magician wizard lady. She's got the time stone. She's like Doctor Strange. I'm gonna push you into the nether portal. Did you not know she was in that movie?
I thought.
You're not
Yeah,
giving me
I know who
anything.
you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on. The Devil All the Time, first look. Internet boyfriends. Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson are going to be in a Netflix Midwestern Gothic about it's post World War II, pre Vietnam. It's going to be like 4 intersecting different timelines, or not timelines, but stories. Non-linear, they say, kind of thing going in it. It looks very interesting. It's going to be a multi-strand narrative set between the end of World War II and the beginning of America's involvement in Vietnam, in which a motley group of characters' lives all intersect.
Interesting.
It's going to be a Southern Gothic and noir, is how they described it. And it seems like it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, Jason Clarke, Sebastian Stan, Haley Bennett, Eliza Scanlon, and Robert Pattinson.
Eliza Scanlon?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm
I
waiting
know.
for her to show up in something.
That's
kind of hype.
It is hype. It's going to be very cool.
That makes me
check out.
happy.
Yeah.
It's been so long. She was in Sharp Objects, and I was like, she's a good actress.
Mm-hmm.
And then she never got cast in anything.
I think
This is her chance.
I think there was something else.
She's in
but I
Little Women,
can't-
but like she dies like
Yeah.
20 minutes in the movie.
Yeah. Bob Odenkirk's in Little Women.
But if
too.
Greta Gerwig knows the talent, hopefully
Hopefully everyone will know.
everyone knows now.
It's going to be on Netflix September 16th, 2020. September. It's going to be...
That's my mom's birthday.
Wow. You should watch it together. I don't know if... Who knows if that'll be a good movie for the family. Speaking of movies coming out, Raised by Wolves.
TV show.
Oh, right. Sorry. It's going to be a drama. It's very weird looking. Do you want to take...
Interesting.
Can you explain this to me?
Explain it?
Yes.
Well, it's a show that's coming out on HBO Max,
Mhm.
HBO Max original by Ridley Scott. I don't really know what it's about. The trailer is
about-
very strange.
2 androids are tasked with raising human children on a mysterious virgin planet. As the human colony threatens to be torn apart by religious differences, the androids learn that controlling the beliefs of humans is a treacherous and difficult
Yeah,
task.
didn't get that from the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't
got
get that from
the
the
I got the
trailer.
androids raising the children,
Yeah.
but the rest of that, no, definitely didn't
No,
catch
not
that.
really.
It looks very strange.
Mhm.
Which I'm into. Go super weird with the sci-fi. I'm totally down for it. I will be checking that out certainly. I don't know if you will, but I will.
I don't know.
I'll talk about it.
I wasn't that impressed by the trailer. If I didn't see Ridley Scott in front of it,
Yeah.
I would have 100% been like skip, you know. But that's just me.
Yeah. I'll be checking it out. It's
Yeah.
soon, September 3rd.
Yes. One last thing, I'm thinking of ending things. It's going to come out September 4th, 2020, and this is a weird looking movie. A young woman is going to go with her new boyfriend Jesse Plemons.
Love him.
To his
Oh,
parents'
Jesse Plemons.
secluded farm, and you haven't seen is a Charlie Kaufman. Have you seen the trailer?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well it's really creepy. It's got Toni Collette too.
Great actress.
That's his parents is Toni Collette and the other dude. Sorry, and
The other dude.
right? And it is like the line in the trailer is like, we always thought that we traveled through time, but really time is stationary and we're stationary and time travels through us or something like that. And it's
Okay.
really weird because there's a lot of stuff they do with like reverse footage and looping footage in the trailer and
So
stuff.
It's Tenet.
It's well, yeah, kind of. Like there's a part where a dog is shaking off its wetness or whatever, and it just
And they-
never stops
Oh,
for the whole trailer.
interesting.
Never stops. Very interesting. It looks very surreal. Very
And that's on Netflix.
September 4th.
Cool.
Right?
So
That's
just
what I said.
easy. Click.
Yeah,
click, and I'm
easy.
going.
It'll be good.
I'll watch that.
Looks very crazy. Toni Collette also doing, creepy laughs and everything. She's a very creepy woman. Good for her.
She is the mother.
Yeah.
I am your mother.
She's great. Speaking of creepy people, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, well, not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson and others, like an investor group, is going to be buying the XFL for 15 million buckaroos.
That's kind of cheap.
Yeah, well, that's because the XFL, I'm pretty sure, declared bankruptcy in like
flop,
April.
yeah. Unfortunate.
The creepy person I was talking to was Vince McMahon, by the way.
Oh, gotcha.
He's the creepy one. But they bought it. I guess they're gonna plan to get it started as like soon as possible. You know,
Cool.
they want to bubble up and
get the
going,
bubble going.
you know?
NBA's doing good.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if it turns out or not.
I like the XF when it was on for like a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool. They do a lot of cool things that the NFL does like production wise.
Yeah, Johnson said that the reason he wanted to take part was because he was very passionate about football, and he has a desire to take care of the fans of football. You know, he wants them to be taken care of, and creating something special for the players, fans, and everyone involved who loves football. And it makes me wonder how football it will like if he's gonna church it up at all, if he's gonna make it a bit more showboaty, a bit more style to it. You know, like how wrestling has a lot of stuff going on other than the actual sport. If he's going to try bringing a lot of that pizzazz to the XFL or not. I don't know. Or honestly, he probably won't even have that big of a hand in it. He'll just be giving people money to have the hand in it.
Right.
But it's still cool exchanging of hands here. We'll have to keep an eye out on it. I mean, again, I'm not crazy about football, but you can keep an eye on it for me.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Finally, some great news. Walt Disney Company posts first quarterly loss in almost 20 years.
How about that?
Hooray.
How about that? Something's going right.
Of course, largely a result of reasons. They lost $4.72 billion in the 3 months ending June 27th, with total revenue falling 42% to $11.8 billion. They earned a profit of $1.43 billion in the same quarter last year. And obviously, the revenues from theaters, the parks, and the ESPN like sports stuff is all totally messed up.
Basically everything.
Yeah,
because
basically
they own everything.
Because they own everything, so you know it worked, and obviously they delayed everything too. And the last quarterly loss came in 2001, and it amounted to $567 million. So we were dealing millions back then. We're dealing billions now. But that's just how money is, I guess.
Billions,
that's how
billions.
The downfall of life is. Great. I'm so happy. I
keep
can't
going
wait.
down.
Keep it up. Keep it up, guys.
Keep the downward trend.
Let's keep it up. And finally, Robert Rodriguez reveals new details on the return of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in Netflix's We Can Be Heroes.
What?
What? Are you excited?
Bro, what do you mean? Are you not? Shark Boy and Lava Girl is like big deal.
It is a big deal, and I'm very excited. However, don't get too excited, because they said that I read this article. Apparently, the only thing that's happening is it's going to be like a cameo, basically, where We Can Be Heroes. It's like it's kind of like a Zoom or Sky High. It's going to be a bunch of kids with like superpowers and stuff. It's going to be like a bunch of adult superheroes with kids who also have superpowers. So, you know, like Zoom and Sky High, but Robert Rodriguez.
Okay.
It's going to be starring Pedro Pascal and Priyanka Chopra.
Pedro Pascal, all
and
right.
Priyanka Chopra. You were just talking about how much you loved her. Right?
Was I?
Isn't that... Am I thinking of someone else? I thought that was the lady from The Expanse that you loved. And oh, no, wait. Who am I thinking? Who's that?
That's Shorey.
Shorey. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know.
Expanse.
I haven't
this guy
watched
obviously doesn't watch The Expanse.
I want to, though.
But you should. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it right now.
Yeah, I will eventually. But they basically said that the only speaking role is for Lava Girl. So it really does sound like it'll be a
That sucks. You know, I'm not even excited anymore.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
I don't know. I hope it's a little bit more substantial than what I think it is. You know what I mean?
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream.
Keep going.
And dream us out, right?
I think so.
Dream, 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 dream.
Anyway, I hope it's good. I'm at least gonna check it out for that. I'm at least gonna look
Boo.
up that scene on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll watch it on YouTube.
And just see
whatever.
that. You know, that'll be cool. But is it their kid together? Shark Boy and Lava Girl's kid with shark lava powers?
I don't know.
Because they weren't related. They were just his imagination, right?
Yeah, he created them.
Like they weren't brother or sister, right? Yeah, okay. Well, lava sharks, that sounds pretty dope if you ask me. I like lava. I like sharks. But that does it for news.
That was a lot.
It was a lot of news. We had a lot of news going on. So what are we going on to?
You know what time it is? Boom, 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 boom. It's the spotlight time, yo. It's time to talk about some action sequences that we very much enjoy.
Sequences. So we're not putting a limiter on this. It's any kind of action. Is it a chase? Is it a fight? I don't care.
Whatever.
Just give it all to me. I want it all.
If it's actioning, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Only 10.
Only 10.
And there's like 10 million. So don't get mad at us for leaving out the end game final battle scene.
Right.
Because that's not here.
And this isn't even our favorite. This is just 10.
Yeah. We could literally do probably like 50 episodes.
Right,
of
exactly.
Just this.
So this is action scenes part 1.
Yeah.
There
Part
we
2
go.
in the future, maybe.
Yeah.
Justin, why are you flanking me?
What? What? Marilyn, why are you flanking me?
Why are you flanking me?
Marilyn, why are you? He's flanking. You see
Got us
that,
on-
right?
Got us on 3 sides.
on 3
What do you think you're doing?
Hold up. Anyway, we're talking about Wind River, guys.
Wind River. That's the first one we're going to talk about.
If you haven't seen it, pretty good film.
Yeah, good movie, but great in a certain sequence
Yeah.
for the standoff and the shootout that happened near the climax
Mm-hmm.
of the film. Wow. We saw this movie, me and you.
Yes,
We went to the movie theater. We didn't know what it was about.
It was pretty empty too.
Yeah, very empty theater. We didn't really know what it was about. And we were just like, you know what? Let's go see it. And we saw it. And, bro, when this scene happened, well, when the movie ended, I think we both looked at each other and we just were like, bro, this was the part.
Yeah.
Dang. It just, the build up, the movie's like a slow burn.
Yeah, it's Elizabeth Olsen, who's like an FBI agent, trying to figure out where this missing girl went.
Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch
Hawkeye and Scarlet
go
Witch.
to avenge the death of the Punisher. That's what the movie's about.
That's true. You know what? That is actually what the movie... Forget what I said. That is the real plot. And so basically, it's kind of, they're getting too close. And so, some people got to get shot, I guess.
Yeah, dude. The why you flanking me scene is like, I was like gripping the chair.
Right, exactly.
When it's so intense and they have the standoff and things die down and you're like, okay, whew, you can breathe for a little bit. And then they get to the door of the trailer.
Yes.
And then you're like, bro, we're just kind of chilling. And he's like, FBI is at the door, open up.
Right.
And you're like, oh man, this is kind of intense. And then boom, shotgun through the door. And then it's just like silent for a second as she like flies to the ground. And then everybody's just like, whoa.
It's a total shootout.
And it's
Gunfire in
nasty
all
shootout.
direction. I'm pretty sure we get like a nice wide of just like everybody just going at
Everybody's
it.
just like,
Yeah, exactly. The why you
Dang.
flanking me guy who pointed it out, rough look for him. He's a good one.
He knew.
But
Yeah, he says like right at the end of the standoff, he like looks at Elizabeth Olsen and is like,
you didn't see that?
You didn't see it.
Yeah.
And you're just
didn't
like,
see it.
bro.
Yeah,
Oh
it sucks
my
for him.
God.
And then comes in, so you have this really fast paced, the action happens and it doesn't, again, it's tense. So like you're expecting it and then it happens and it's over. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of breathe and you're like, oh shit, this was pretty rough. And then when you think it's over, what happens? But Hawkeye
coming in with the epic snipes.
epic assist. He jumps off of a tree, does a 360, and then no scopes
him across the map.
across the map. No, but really, they cut to this wide shot of an open snowy field.
I didn't see him the first time I saw the
You
movie.
didn't because Jeremy Renner actually not way in the back. He's kind of like the bottom right ish. He's
Camoed
standing
up.
there in all snow camo and everything, and it's like 3 seconds of him sitting there, and then boom. Right, and the guy goes flying back, and they all freak out. They're like, "Get down!" And so the rest of the scene is him taking these people out,
Sniping dudes.
like one by one, until they're all gone except for one
who gets away, but
who
he
gets
gets
away.
he gets it
Yeah,
later.
don't worry about that.
Um,
Really,
bro, I'll go.
yeah.
The best part.
Mm.
There's a dude who whips out like a machine gun.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the fight, and he's like looking out the window after a couple dudes get sniped, and they're like, "Where's he at?" and then he gets sniped at bro, and he just goes like flying over the table,
yeah.
and like it is just the funniest thing. It's just that was some great. That guy, that stunt guy, really went for it. And
Yeah, he did.
He just like totally flings himself over the table. It's great.
The other thing I'd like to say about the movie is that one of the things that I think makes the action so effective is the sound editing. You know, each gunshot you really feel when they pull the trigger. You know, a lot of movies you can watch and there's so many people shooting that it kind of get numb to it. But each gunshot in this is so loud and so impactful that you're like, wow, it's like a Blade Runner kind of, except with normal guns.
Right.
Where each gunshot, you're like, wow, that feels really impactful and hits me in my gut. You know, so very effective scene.
Yeah, and the bullets, like, it's not just like you get shot once and you're down. Like, people get shot like multiple times before they finally go down. Yeah, great scene.
Great scene.
What's next?
What is next?
What is next? Oh, yeah. This is one of my personal...
Oh, wait, hold on. Can I interject?
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I will be posting links to these clips in the description.
Oh, yeah. So you can see
on the YouTube video so that you can check all these out and, you know, watch them as we talk about them and see for yourself how cool some of this stuff is and how effective a lot of it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but up next.
Fast 5. Ever heard of it?
Never seen it. Definitely heard of it.
Don't worry. You'll be cultured on Fast and Furious soon.
We both have seen all of these action scenes, though. We have
We've seen all the scenes.
Yeah.
The vault heist from Fast 5 is one of the greatest action moments of the past decade.
Yeah, and totally ripped off by Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean totally ripped this for the 5th movie or whatever. Who cares?
Sure.
We're not talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
We're talking about Fast 5.
Fast 5. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker. They hook up.
Paul Walker.
Hey, he's back again.
T-Rex.
They hook up their cars to the vault in Rio.
Yeah.
And they just rip it out of there with their vehicles, and then they just drive it around the city, smashing into things. No doubt killing people.
Oh, certainly. A lot of death.
People are totally getting crushed by this thing.
But they
don't
cut away.
see that,
They cut away.
but it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Smashing cop cars, just totally wrecking the city as they're just driving through, doing cool stuff, stopping to make it fly forward and hit people.
Now, unless there was more context that I missed because I haven't seen the whole movie,
unfortunate.
This isn't even close to being possible. This is such a fantasy.
That is that is like the trademark.
Well, exactly. It's that's the fun of it. But
it's so ridiculous.
It is very ridiculous, but it is fun to think about. It's like if this did work,
it seems like it could happen when you watch it. You're like, this could happen.
I mean, maybe if they greased up the vault.
I don't know. I don't really know. It seems like maybe it could happen. I don't know.
I don't think so because
later in the movies, definitely like once after Fast 5, it gets like really
that's like
crazy.
The tipping point.
Those definitely not gonna happen. But yeah, Fast 5, it could happen. And a little behind the scenes.
Right. This is the interesting stuff.
It's mostly practical. So they took the vault, and they built like a car. They took like a truck, I think, and they like sawed it in half and just basically made like a big roll cage. And then they put the vault on top of it. And then they put a guy inside the vault with this little truck, and he basically drives the vault around to make it seem like they're pulling it, but he's just driving it, and they're flipping it over, and he's in there in his little cage flipping and stuff. And it's really cool. I'm sure you could probably find a video of it somewhere just to see the behind the scenes of that, but it's really cool how they did that. And yeah.
I like how on the fly they wrote the characters to be able to, use the chain as well as the vault, to work together. Or when they stop, so one was backing up and pushing the vault while the other was pulling, stuff like that. They weren't just going in a straight line. They had obstacles that they had to get past. I mean, again, property damage.
Dude, they totally destroy so many city blocks.
It would take years for them to build everything back.
They really, really shred half the city.
And I'm sure the road would have to be repaved completely.
Oh, they tore it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Big time.
But still, very fun to just be if this could happen, this would be pretty cool.
Sick. Yeah.
Like you said when we were watching it, it's imagine you're just having lunch, Then two guys drive by with a vault just tumbling
Yeah,
behind
they're
them.
just tumbling behind the cars. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Fast Five, great movie. Love it.
Family.
Family. What's up next? Hey, there's this movie that came out called Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh,
You heard of it?
Black and Chrome edition? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that movie was on like my top 10 of the decade.
Right, exactly.
So
The scene that I want to talk
Pretty
about
good.
specifically is the part at the beginning. From there to when the credits roll is my favorite part.
that's the best action scene.
It is. But more specifically,
Most specifically, we'll talk about the first chase.
Yeah,
so
very
half
first.
of the movie. We're gonna talk about
Really,
half of the
basically the first half if you think about it.
because it's literally just like one giant chase.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes from the very beginning
Mm.
all the way to after they go through the storm,
Yeah.
and then the cool shot happens where he comes out of the sand.
Exactly, yeah.
That is like literally halfway through the movie.
Right, right.
Um,
I would just say is that whenever the fire guitar guy, it's that scene.
that's when you know. I was watching this movie and I was like, this is really cool.
Mhm.
And then they get to like, they're gaining on them, and the camera's like flying in from up top, and you see all these cars driving all these crazy looking vehicles, and then you see this huge one in the back, and there's this sick heavy metal going on,
Mhm.
and it zooms up, and there's a dude just on the top of this giant car jamming out with a flaming guitar,
Right.
shooting fire out. It is like that. When I saw that, I was like, bro, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my entire
Right,
life.
exactly. That's it. And it's just unrepentant. It knows what it is. You know, it knows that's all action. It doesn't hide.
Mhm.
It's not afraid of it. You know, and that's what you respect. You know, and all the actors doing a sensational job. Imagine having to keep up that high energy the whole time you were filming a movie.
It's crazy.
You know, it's
man.
like imagine you're in the most exciting, adrenaline pumped you've ever been for months. You know, so like
real,
hats
though.
off to anybody doing that. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy stunts. I mean, I've seen a lot of behind the scenes for this movie. It's insane
Yeah.
what they did.
Well, because you could have skimped out and made like 90% of the movie CG.
Right.
You
But
know.
no, George Miller's like, you know what? Nah, dude. We're flipping 50 cars right now. We're having dudes on poles like swinging back and
Right,
forth between
exactly.
vehicles, grabbing people. I mean, just insane stunts.
Yeah, it's a touchstone for action and movies.
Oh,
as
it's
far
one
as
of the
I can-
greatest action movies ever made. That's
Yeah.
not a doubt.
It is maybe the only action movie ever made. You know what I mean? Where it's a movie that's action. It's not an action drama. It's action.
It is. It's
There's no
literally just
subgenre.
action.
It's just an action movie. Fantastic. And Charlize Theron's in it, so
She is in it.
Marilyn's not in it.
What do you
Fucking
think? Marilyn as Furiosa.
Marilyn is
Thoughts?
Furiosa. Well, she's dead. But Marilyn, I mean.
Yes. That has nothing to do with my question.
You mean back in the day, like
No, if Marilyn played, imagine if Marilyn Monroe played Furiosa in Mad Max.
well, she's a skeleton.
Bro,
You mean like in her heyday?
work with me.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, do you mean Mad Max being made back then, or her when she was live in Mad Max being made right now?
Yes.
Right now. Okay. Interesting. I don't think she'd have I don't want to underestimate her.
Okay.
I'm not sure she'd have the gravitas needed to do
handle the Furiosa part.
yeah, and the fight
I'd probably
scenes and
agree.
everything. But you know, she
Charlize
could
really
surprise
nails
me.
it.
Sure, she does. She does. We'll leave it at that. What's next?
What's up next? What do we have? Oh yeah. Little series, John Wick.
Never heard of it. Actually, no. I've
Uh,
only watched the first one.
which is insane. I've seen all three of them like a million times. We're gonna be specifically talking from the third movie, very close to the beginning of the
Mhm.
movie.
Oh, really?
The knife.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, it's really close to the beginning. The knife store fight.
Good setting for an action scene, I would say.
Intense. It's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
It's really nasty. Is it funny?
I think I think John Wick is very funny actually. And that might show that I'm like a demented crazy person,
Yeah.
but I think it's funny.
Okay.
It is funny. They run up and they've been fighting for a while, and then they just like stand there and they look at each other
Mm.
and
See all the
then
weapons.
They notice they're like, "Oh yeah, we're in a knife store." And then they just start throwing knives at everybody.
Okay.
It's not
I don't know
funny?
if I would call it funny. I call it entertaining, but not funny. That's just me.
I laughed.
That's okay. Did you laugh when the guy got brutally stabbed in the eye very slowly, like Dead Space 2?
Nobody laughed in that part. Everybody was like, "Oh my lord!"
I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
Because it's not funny.
Well, okay.
But it is funny when he picks up the axe at the end and cross-map tomahawks the dude.
Oh, I didn't find that funny either.
Bro.
Because it's murder. Oh my gosh. Because people are dying.
He's defending himself.
From the guy who's crawling away on the floor being like, oh.
They're all trying to kill him.
But
he has like an $8 million bounty on his head, bro.
Really?
Everyone
Only?
is trying to kill him. Only 8 million. What you mean only 8 million?
For John Wick, I'd be like,
that's a lot.
Would you try to kill John Wick for $8 million?
God, no.
Exactly.
Yeah, but bro, you don't understand.
I would only try to kill John Wick for like $8 million.
I'd be knowing. But these guys are like, if I was
in the first one,
maybe.
first one, they seemed pretty incompetent. So
yeah,
because they were only like gangsters. There were other assassins, but most of them were like gangsters or whatever.
Well, in the second one and the third one, it's
the League of Assassins.
It's
or whatever.
top level people trying to take them down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole movie, all of them are just filled with. We could do like 20 from just like those 3 movies, but the knife fight is really cool.
Yeah, the thing that if I were to like qualify or whatever is like John Wick is specifically like if Mad Max is like road action, like car action, John Wick is specifically like weapon action, like all these different weapons. What can he use to like murder people and everything? Creative ways of using weapons and defending against weapons and stuff like that. Like that's kind of the niche that it found itself in, which is a very interesting one.
Yeah, love John Wick. Check it out.
Keanu Reeves,
Link
man.
in the description for the knife store fight.
Keanu Reeves.
Speaking of knives, you know what has knives?
Lots of things.
Kitchens.
Kitchens do have knives.
Kitchens have knives. You know what else has a kitchen? The Raid 2.
Oh, yeah, it does.
The Raid 2 has a kitchen.
That's
and
pretty
there just so
gnarly kitchen.
happens to be a fight scene in that kitchen.
Health violations galore.
Yeah, they're going to have to,
deep clean.
I might even just need to relocate.
Yeah, that would probably be a good. Just put a doctor's office in there, like a surgeon's room.
For real. The kitchen fight from the Raid 2 it's got to be one of the best, just like one-on-one, just fight to the death.
Yeah,
ever.
This is opposed to some of the ones we talked about earlier. Is totally one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 guys going at it. Where when you watch, it's fun to watch one person just demolish like a crowd. But then when you get the one-on, those are my favorite.
Oh yeah,
is the one-on-one, just 2 people equally matched, or almost equally matched.
Right. Yeah. One has to win.
Exactly. I mean, they could be equally matched, just fight forever.
I guess
it wouldn't be very entertaining, or would it? Well, Sasuke and Naruto.
That is true. They do tie.
Yeah. So there you go.
Boom.
Next action scene: Sasuke and Naruto.
Yeah, but some people will say that Naruto
was holding back
because he didn't holding back in the
in
their final fight. Which
that's fair. I actually don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. Just saying.
But this fight, you mentioned something earlier, and I kind of looked at you funny because you said like some of the stuff in Upgrade you like hadn't seen before. This movie kind of does some of the stuff that I think you were talking about in Upgrade.
It's kind of
it is different.
In Upgrade, it's like very. I don't know how to explain it. You just have to see it. But yes, they do kind of do like the
camera kind of moves with the motion of the actors. It'll twist and turn, and with the punches or with the slashes and stuff like that. Very energetic scene. And again, when you have a knife fight, it's like each stab could be like the stab.
Yeah.
So those fights are always very exciting to view with that kind of context,
Yeah, and you were talking about like the Upgrade thing. It made me think of one of my favorite moments when he like grabs the dude's head and like slams him down on the table, and the camera's like whoop, whoop, and right then he like slides him down the table. Lots of cool stuff like that. And then the end, he just gets him right in the cheek, and he's just like, I was like, oh.
Right, exactly. It's plenty of like real like kind of gore stuff going on with it to give an extra edge to the action. Because, most of the action that I view is, it's like the PG-13 action. It's like the superhero movie action. It's like, yeah, you just got punched by Superman and your brain didn't explode, but like,
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's a great scene. Both those movies are basically kind of in the vein of like John Wick, just a ton of action that is blow your mind.
The raid is awesome.
Yeah.
Up next, we got Children of Men. You ever heard of that movie?
Children of Men. This is an interesting one. This scene.
This is.
Because it is a shorter scene.
Yeah, it's only like 2 minutes or something like that, I think. It's the car scene from Children of Men. If you don't know what the car scene is from Children of Men,
you'll know when you click the link.
You will know when you click the link. This is a crazy moment in this movie and an extreme achievement of filmmaking.
It is.
Also.
Again, the action in this, it all takes place inside the camera is in a car the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a single take, and there's so many people involved with this shot, like hundreds.
Literally.
Like so many people involved. Driving down the road, a flaming car comes in through the road, blocks their path. They got to back up while a huge crowd, a ginormous crowd,
there's so many people,
storms the car. They come up on the motorbikes, and they're armed, and they got to fight them off. Again, it's a very understated, like, dare I say, like, realistic. Is that weird to say? It's not totally out there. Nobody's doing superhuman stuff. But it makes it very intense to watch.
Yes. And in the context of the film, also very emotional.
Yes.
One of the main characters bites it.
Yeah, exactly.
Season.
And
season. In this scene.
Yeah.
It is just, it starts off like really happy. They're just driving down the road. They're like five of them or whatever.
Ping pong balls at each other.
Yeah, they do the ping pong ball thing or whatever. And then just like that.
Just like that, the scene.
Total chaos.
180 into
literally, because they start backing up.
Exactly.
Literally 180.
Yeah.
And then, and the camera the whole time is just like floating in the car. It's so cool.
Yeah, it might not be exactly what you think of if you think action scene.
Right.
But like, because there's so many people involved, because it was such an impressive take, I really wanted to include it on this list.
Yes, it's very good. Children of Men in general, very good movie. Yeah, check it out if you haven't. Link in the description.
Moving on.
Next up, a movie that you're very fond of. I have not seen this movie, just like you haven't seen John Wick 3. Atomic Blonde.
Which is John Wick people anyway. So
yeah, it's basically the same thing, just with Charlize Theron. We're talking
girl.
about The Apartment.
Charlize Theron, we've mentioned twice. Keanu Reeves, only
and
once.
Paul Walker.
And Paul Walker we've mentioned twice.
That's like the heavenly trio.
Yeah, it is. Wow. What a good episode.
Yeah, we're doing it.
This is the apartment scene where she's... So in this movie, which is one of the reasons why it's kind of interesting, John Wick, he just murders people.
He doesn't murder people.
You know what I mean, though? But he kills everybody.
Yes, he kills everybody.
He never takes... He sometimes avoids civilians, He doesn't like having civilian casualties, at least in the first movie. Maybe that changes.
No, he's not a murderer. He's a good person.
Right. So in Atomic Blonde, there's sometimes where she is killing people and sometimes where she's not. So in this instance, police get called to the apartment that she's investigating, and they're trying to take her down, and she's like, well, I don't want to murder a bunch of cops, so she has to take them down non-lethally, where usually she'd have a gun and just shoot people or whatever. So it's her scene kind of using what she has around her. Specifically, there's this hose that she takes, and she just starts bodying these guys, like totally taking them with this hose. She throws it at them, at their nuts and everything. Because again, another thing that I appreciate about this movie is when she's taking people down, she goes for the quickest way, especially non-lethally. As a woman fighting them, she generally is not as strong as the male people she fights. She loses on like head-on-head encounters, So she has to think a little trickier and use the environment to her advantage. She shoves the dude's head with the refrigerator door.
She slams the fridge on him.
Nasty. And of course, the coolest part of the scene where she gets the hose around someone's head, and then I'm surprised that he didn't die, honestly.
For real.
And jumps out of the second story floor down to the ground floor, and this guy gets launched across the room because his head attached. He could have died. His head could have been ripped off. We don't know.
It could have been.
And the scene ends there after another short little encounter, and I just really enjoy the craftiness that's displayed in that. I enjoy that in any action scene I see. When it's not conventional weapons, they're usually my favorite scenes.
Yeah, super cool. Same people that make John Wick.
Very stylized, you know, with the
Yeah,
music and everything. It's got the
cool
track
music going.
blasting. Yeah.
Super sick scene.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Point Break.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. We're going pre-2000 finally.
Yeah.
We've just kind of been doing the new... Well, because, yeah, I mean, you know, they can only really get better.
I guess that's true.
Kind of.
Kind of.
But we're talking about the chase scene.
You probably know it.
Point
It's
Break.
If you don't know the chase scene, you know the part where he shoots up in the sky and goes, ah.
Ah!
If you've seen Hot Fuzz, you know that.
Yep.
So you got to know this.
It's in 2 movies.
Well, yeah, but it's... This scene,
Bro.
it starts in the car, right?
Yep.
And then goes to the gas station where he lights everything on fire.
Yeah, that's sick. He just...
Yeah.
Flamethrowers.
And Keanu Reeves jumps through the flames, and my favorite part is when they are going through like the urban area.
Yeah, just running through all the backyards.
And it's all because it's really tight corridors.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the tight corridors, you have walls at each end of the camera. And so you see the walls going by. I think you get like an incredible sense of speed and like distance traveled in this scene. Like by the end, you're like, there you ran a long way by the end of it, you know? And that's what I love about the scene. Well, except for my favorite part of the scene, which is where he's going through the woman's house.
Yeah.
She's beating him with a vacuum cleaner, like, get out. And at the end, the bad guy throws the lady's pit bull at him. So Keanu Reeves
chucks it.
gets attacked by this pit bull that was thrown on him. So Keanu Reeves like punts it across the yard. And they continue the chase. And it's just like I think it's hilarious. I don't know.
It's funny.
I don't know if it was supposed to be like,
there's
make
no
me laugh
way
so hard.
the dude, when they made that, they were like, bro, this is not funny. This is
Right,
very
exactly,
serious.
exactly.
Of course it's funny.
But no, that was, I laughed so hard the first time I saw that because like,
it is really
he
funny.
stopped running to grab the dog. I don't know.
What are you going to do?
It's just a very fun scene
It is.
to watch. And, you know,
Number 9. We only got 2 more.
2 more.
2 more, and then we're on the way. We're going to talk about... Everybody loves him.
Raymond?
Sure.
Ice Age 2.
Ice Age 2?
I don't know. Which one's that?
The first Ice Age, when they go down the ice slide.
That's
That is
good
our
too.
number 9.
Well, no,
for
Ice
favorite.
Age 3 when the little weasel guy fights the dinosaurs.
Even better. We are switching our number 9 to Ice Age 3. Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Dawn of the
or
Dinosaurs.
whatever.
4 is Continental Drift, and then 5 is Aliens. Right?
Right.
But the real number 9.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Everybody loves Jackie
I had to
Chan.
mention Jackie Chan. Honestly, Jackie Chan was a huge part of my childhood. Like, real talk. Like, weekends, I would be like, pick out a movie at the Family Video or whatever, or the Blockbuster even. Like, oh, what are you going to see? I see Jackie Chan movies. I'm like, I can't go wrong. I got to pick one of these. His action is funny and
is funny.
entertaining.
Yep.
You know? Like, he is like the master of funny action. You
Oh,
know?
he's
like,
really good at it.
he basically invented it as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
You know? But what are we talking about specifically?
We're specifically talking about the ladder fight.
You probably
from
know it.
First Strike.
Yeah, you probably have seen just this scene alone.
Yeah, for real.
But it showcases everything that he does right in his films. And it's using the environment to its fullest. You know, when he fights, the setting is always a part of the fight. You know, they're in the ring with everybody else.
Grabbing things, throwing things.
Right at the start, he's like grabbing tables and flipping over them, then picking them up and throwing them. You know, he like climbs like scaffolding at one point. It's like kicking people, and it's something that I always appreciate it when I see it. You know, when people use the environment, because a lot of times, at least I feel like in American movies or whatever, people can just fight until one's losing, and then they start using the environment. Like you have to wait till someone's being strangled on the ground, and then they'll pick up the fire extinguisher and bash them.
Yeah.
No, instead of just like instinctually doing it and playing with everything in the room. Because you can watch a Jackie Chan movie and they enter a room and you're like, I see a pool table. I see a lamp. I see a bust. You know, it's like, what can they use? You know,
What
someone's
can they
going
do?
across that bar. You know, he's going to
Right,
get
yeah.
slid down there. That's a fun thing with his movies. And the ladder, of course, specifically is the end of this action scene.
Yep.
And it is something to climb on and something to use as a weapon. So it's the best
crazy.
of both worlds.
I know. You can do it. It's got it all. buy it from your nearby Home Depot.
Right, exactly. So he'll stack it up, and he's being attacked by like quarter staffs at this point, people's staffs. So he'll climb it, he'll slide through it to like kick someone at the other end. He'll trap someone
Guy
inside and punch him in the face,
Yeah.
And he's using it, so he'll flip it out, and then the bad guys will flip it back in and crush his fingers, and he'll
he's
stop.
like, I love that.
It's funny what he can do, even when
and
it's
he
like
uses it as a chair.
right, and then he uses it as a chair at the end because and he doesn't want any trouble.
Great scene.
I was watching a lot of Jackie Chan scenes to
Love
like
Jackie
try to
Chan.
pick it out, and I picked this one because it was just everything in one scene. you
Yeah.
know? But I watched the bar scene from the first Rush Hour movie.
Love Rush Hour. I haven't seen those in forever.
I know you haven't, because this scene, what happens is he goes in the bar with Chris Tucker, I think is the actor's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
He goes in the bar with him. He's like, look, like, you haven't been to America, let me take the lead, just do what I do. And so he walks into the bar, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up, my? And he says the N-word, he's like, whatever. So Jackie Chan says on the bar, he says, what's up, my?
Oh.
The guy behind, what did you just say? And he repeats it, so everyone just starts attacking him. He's like, I don't want no trouble. And he, beats up everybody in the bar. And I was like, wow, that's in that movie? I don't remember that at all. That's pretty crazy. Still that's a fun action scene too. And he ends it, there's a guy smoking, just kind of sitting in, and he takes a cigarette, and he's like, that's bad for you. And he runs away. I mean, Jackie Chan, just entertaining movies through and through.
He's a treasure.
Anything
he's a treasure.
And the last one is different from the other action scenes we talked about a little bit.
We are straying away.
Yeah.
Shin Godzilla
Yes.
from like 2016.
16, yeah, that sounds
Something
right.
like that. Godzilla movie, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a scene on...
I made you watch it. Yeah, that's
I
right.
have seen it,
Yeah,
yes. There's a scene in it known as the atomic breath.
Well, atomic breath is what he does, right? That's
Sure.
Godzilla's thing. He does.
I think
it
on
once.
YouTube, if you look it up, it's like atomic death.
Oh, really?
The atomic death sequence.
Cool.
Stunning.
Yeah. So, if you know Godzilla, you know that he can. Well, depending on the era.
By the way, this is like the number.
That's not true
one
at all.
Biggest Godzilla fan.
That's like
ever.
number 10 biggest or something like that. That's not really true at all. But atomic breath is the thing he does in everything. He shoots atomic breath out of his mouth, and that's what he does in the new ones. The legendary ones.
Mm.
So he starts it off in this one, and it's a billowing blast of fire. Fire going throughout the streets.
so cool.
Whatever. And then it starts turning purple. And you're like, oh, okay, now it's really hot. It's really heating up. And then something interesting happens. It turns purple, but then
Laser beam.
it turns into a laser beam out of nowhere. It's the single laser beam coming out of his mouth. He shoots it up to the sky, destroying the planes in the sky. They're like, okay, we need to take care of this. They start dropping bombs. Shin Godzilla's like, really? You think?
Laser beam out the back.
Out the back, through his spines. It's like refracting the laser beam, destroys everything in the sky. My favorite part of the scene is right after that. It just keeps getting better.
It is really great.
He takes the laser beam, just does a sweeping across the horizon.
It's so cool.
Buildings getting sliced in half.
He just like levels the whole city.
Yeah, the prime minister murdered in this helicopter. And
Yeah.
it is such, with a movie which is criticized a lot because it lacks so much action,
Right. This is like the moment.
Exactly. When I don't think it is a stretch to say that when I first watched this movie, seeing that laser beam atomic breath was like seeing his atomic breath for the first time ever. It was
so cool.
Again, with Shin Godzilla being Shin Godzilla, New Godzilla or whatever, they accomplished that very well by introducing this effect, and it's so cool.
It is.
It's so
cool.
badass.
And it's got that sweet like operatic.
Yeah. The music, the score behind it is
where it's
amazing.
just like,
Yeah, there's like 30 screensavers in that scene. You just pause it anywhere, and you're
dude.
like, yeah, that works.
It's so cool. What a great.
I wish Millie
freaking-
Bobby Brown was in it.
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't want all the Japanese actors and then Millie Bobby Brown.
I don't know if that would work too well.
Well, I liked her in the new one, so I guess we have differing opinions.
Yeah. Okay. Shin Godzilla, atomic death, atomic breath,
Whatever.
atomic laser beam,
Atomic
of
laser beam
absolute
of-
destruction,
And opera
and opera.
is
Check
what
it
we'll
out.
coin it. It's very cool. Please check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll do it
That'll do it for this.
for this
10.
part. We got a few more tricks up our sleeve.
We do have a few more tricks, but for this 10 action scenes, maybe we'll come back later.
We
and
have
do
to
another 10. We have to at some point, right?
because this is 10 is not enough.
It is not.
There's
100 is not enough.
There's like way
Yeah,
too
we
many.
didn't even really touch the most classic we touched is like Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get to the classic stuff someday, but not today.
Not today.
We've got to move on. We've got to find new shores. Because we're going to be moving on to
The review of the week.
the review of the week.
The review of the week.
Would you like to go first?
Mine's really short, so.
Okay, mine's a little long. I was going to skip some of mine because mine's so long.
Okay, mine's really short. 1 out of 10. Worst movie I've ever seen in a long time.
Okay.
If it weren't for the beautiful scenery, a person could be tempted easily to commit suicide rather than endure the whole thing.
Okay, beautiful scenery.
That's the whole review.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look. Beautiful scenery. The only one I can guess. Okay. Here's the thing. I think Mad Max has beautiful scenery, but I don't think it's Mad Max. It's got to be Wind River.
You're right, actually. This is for Wind River.
Okay. Cool. Awful take.
Person's just out of touch.
Just out of touch.
Bad take.
I mean, you always hate reviews when they say they don't give their opinion. Well, they give their opinion, but they don't give the reasoning behind their opinion. They just say it's bad, and I just want to know why. It's like, why do you think it's bad? If you tell me, I will respect someone. But if they're just like bad, 1 out of 10, I hate those. It makes me so frustrated. I'm like, I want to know. I want to know your opinion. I want to know why you think incorrectly. You know?
Yeah.
Mine is longer. I'll see what I can do to make it not as long.
All right.
But it's well, this isn't a title, but this is a title of another one. It says if you replace the N in this title with a T, it becomes more accurate. So just think on that. There is not a number low enough to apply to this horrid POS. As another reviewer pointed out, the monster looked like it came from a Chinese dragon dance. The face was expressionless. It didn't make a sound.
I figured out what it was.
Until an hour in, it sat in stupefied silence as a horde of helicopters descended on it. It destroyed almost everything in Tokyo, inexplicably. No reason whatsoever given as to why it's attacking Tokyo.
Bro.
This was a big, bad, stupid joke, a yawn fest. There was so much talking that all I could do was stare at it in amazement. If the Japanese take this long to make a decision when a giant beast is destroying their beloved capital, how the hell are they going to survive when NK lobs nukes at them? Probably not as long as this absolutely god-awful, hideous POS. I can't even think of what else to call it.
Wow.
This is what I call missing the entire point of the movie. The point is, if the Japanese take... That's the point. These reviews drive me insane. It's not when they just don't get it, but when they point out the point of the film, and then they're mad about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're on the money, but there's just something not clicking with you where you're like, wait, that movie did this on purpose because that's the point of the movie. And you should be frustrated. That's why it's being criticized and satirized, because it's a problem. Whatever.
They're dumb. He's dumb. That person who wrote that.
I wish people on IMDb had usernames so I could call them out specifically
For
by
real.
name and call them stupid.
I wish we could do that.
Said I'm just going to have to pretend like it's Earl. You know, like this is Earl.
Earl.
Earl, you're
Damn
dumb.
you. You're stupid.
I hate you, Earl.
Stupid.
My Name is Earl is on TBS. Did you ever watch My Name is Earl?
Mm-mm.
It's an okay show. Anyway, that's all I have for my review of the week. This is where we would do emails. Where would you send an email?
I almost said my personal.
Oh, don't say that. Don't do that.
The THE Stagler STAGLER pod POD at gmail.com. If you want to send an email, ask us a question, tell us we're stupid, tell us we're cool, whatever.
Yeah, you can do whatever you like. We have no email this week.
No email because no one likes us apparently.
That's fine. But I think since it's the 10th, we should have some kind of question for each other. Do you have like we did it once? Do you have another question, like a serious question, like really? Like I could ask you to elaborate on why you like sci-fi so much. We kind of did that before, but like, is it? You said that when you were a kid, your dad liked sci-fi. It's a lot of that. What is the future of sci-fi to you?
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean the future of sci-fi?
I don't know, because like when you watch like Back to the Future, which already happened. You know what I mean. Like the future they went to is the past now.
Right.
Like, what do you see the future as if you were making
Oh,
science
like
fiction
if someone made a sci-fi movie
in like
today,
2050
and they were like, "This is the
Yeah.
future." Okay, because like, I get what you mean. So
Yeah,
it's like
sorry.
Blade Runner set in 2019. 2019 just happened. It's not like that. Luckily,
it's close.
not really.
Yeah, not really.
Oh man, it's got to be. Hopefully, I would tone it back.
Okay.
There'd be honestly probably kind of like Upgrade.
Really? Okay.
Upgrade would be cool because in Upgrade they have like they can put guns like in their body, so people have like guns in their hand that
Interesting.
they can just like, I will shoot you in the face right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, we could have some scientific breakthrough maybe to get guns implanted into our arms.
Maybe they already have it for birth
That would be
control.
cool. They have self-driving cars, which we basically already have,
Yeah.
but these cars are like like you literally sit on a couch and the car will
okay.
like take you wherever.
Like iRobot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
If there was a movie that you had to say this one like got the closest to what you think, would you say Upgrade or like Wall-E?
not Wall-E. Well, I don't. Wall-E is like way
Yeah.
future, right?
In any future, Like, do you
Right.
think Blade Runner would eventually happen?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends if we learn.
The future is a mysterious place. We will never learn.
Yeah. Well, geez, now I don't know what kind of question to ask you.
Yeah. Oh well, that's fine. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I was only thinking of one question, so I could. Well, you did the sci-fi thing. My thing's the horror thing.
Yeah,
right?
I was. Yeah.
I figured you'd be
horror.
on that train. I will just say that I think we're at a very exciting time for horror, and I think that if we're not already in it, we are on the cusp of a real horror renaissance of like how we had back in the day, with Freddy and Jason, Michael Myers and everything like that. I think we're heading toward another one, real close, real soon. If we're not already
There's
in
been
it,
some good names coming up lately.
it's very exciting times for us all, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not exciting time. Or it is an exciting time is next show.
Oh, dude.
What are we talking about
Next
show?
episode is gonna be sick.
It is going to be sick.
Well, hopefully.
Alcoholics Anonymous, also known as AA, also known as
Amy Adams.
She's not an alcoholic. Well, she is in Sharp Objects, but Amy
That's
Adams,
different.
initials AA.
We're talking about her.
Yeah, we're going to just talk about all of her movies that we've seen. And I've
Like
seen quite
Tom
a bit.
Hanks. Like our Tom Hanks episode.
Yeah, pretty
But
much
with
like
Amy
that.
Adams.
But for Amy Adams, she a girl.
She's a woman.
She you're right.
I
She
love
is a woman.
I love Amy Adams.
Amy Adams is great.
She's
I
probably
like
my
Amy Adams a
favorite
lot.
actress.
Really?
I would think so.
That's awesome.
My favorite actress is Amy Adams.
That is very cool.
So we're about to really delve into it.
Yeah, we've already seen a ton of her movies in the first place,
Yeah. And Sharp Objects.
And Sharp Objects, we'll definitely go into that a little bit. So it'll be exciting to kind of see her earlier stuff, because that's really where I'm missing is like her earliest stuff, because that's what you miss for everybody.
Right, yeah.
So that'll be a fun little dive, and we'll talk about it. If you've seen the Tom Hanks episode, you know what to expect. We've never been in the same room as Amy Adams, so
Unfortunate.
there's no sound bites, there's no footage that we can give you.
Maybe I'll give her a call.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Maybe I'll get her to do a thingy.
Do you need her number? I have it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's 5 on my speed dial.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe she could come on.
She's actually also 4 on my speed dial. I put her on there twice just in case I miss.
All right. All right.
We'll see if I can get her on. She's really busy.
That's okay.
She's
I'm sure she can make time.
She's at the window a lot these days.
She is at the window.
Barking at the mailman. But now it is time for us to say night, bitch, because it is the end of the show.
It's over. Unfortunate.
But we'll see you next time for episode 11.
11.
Which is what do you call it? Oh, geez, I'm so dumb.
Amy Adams.
Palindrome. 11 is a
extravaganza.
palindrome. It's same forwards and backwards. It's 1-1. Just like a rival, Hannah. Which is Amy Adams is in that movie. I'm really trying to make connections here. I need something.
This is ending. And you know what also ends? Every single movie that Amy Adams has ever been in has ended.
Does Arrival end? It's ending right now, and it's also beginning right now, because time is a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to disagree with that one, but I don't disagree that I want to get out of here.
Yeah, for real.
So we will see all of you guys later at a later date. I hope to see you guys.
Yeah, check us out next time for Amy Adams Talk.
Amy Adams, episode 11. Until then, gamers, gamerettes, bro.
No, stop that. That's no. We have to end better.
Okay.
Everybody, stay safe. Have a great week, 2 weeks before our next episode. Catch up on some movies. Watch Amy Adams movies if you want to be in the loop with us.
Yeah, that'll
when we
be fun.
talk next week. Or next episode. Sorry, next fortnight.
Mm.
See ya.
See ya.